Hello and welcome to the 26th edition already of the High Roller Super Millions, of course, played over at GGPoker. I'm Kevin the Goy, also known as Rotterdam, and as always, I am joined by the fabulous Nano Noko. Oh, Seth Davies. I'll pick Seth Davies. No, Filatov is in trouble. Okay, I picked Mammoth, actually. That was going to be my pick. Who do you pick, real quick?
My pick is Alex Papasian. I think he's going to do real good. Man, I can't believe Anatoly Filatov is going to potentially
I
bust before Fabrice Tooley.
that would have been a bet, and I would have bet yes, he is going to finish ninth. I would have lost that bet too, but I'm now in danger of losing my $9 final table bet on Anatoly Filatov because of course he's going to get it all in the first hand against an undergun open. He's got queens, but Seth Davies got aces. Can we get a queen? We cannot. What about some backdoors? A king? Yes. Ace or a nine for the win, Nano. An ace or a nine is what Filatov needs. Nope. Wow. I'm
Bye $9, huh?
yeah.
But it looks like Fabrice should be getting looked up by one of these two guys. He's just so short. Does Seth Davies do it, or is it Jans here? It looks like Seth Davies going to call.
I wouldn't even be super shocked if Jans now also puts in the additional 120,000. You put in 120 to play for 580. It's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad at all, and they do make the call. And Fabrice might get a trip. Remember, you talking about a little triple up if you're a short stack, and then you're back in it. And those odds 90-1, I believe the odds were if you did bet on Fabrice. Is looking live.
If you have bets on Fabrice right now, you're like, hold, ace on the turn, and it's pretty much over. Ooh, that is I think I read a scary turn card. I mean, Fabrice is still in the lead with the ace high, but this will most likely go check between these two gentlemen. And now a 7 is bad news as well. So we need to avoid a 7, 8, 9, or a 10.
Oh. That was no, it's just he still has the best
Yeah,
hand.
no,
He's
he's
still
fine.
got
He's
the
fine.
best hand. How
I was combined.
You must be tired. Are you combining cards like these two guys can make a PLO hand or something?
I was like, one of them is going to turn the straight here. I was like, no, never mind. That's fine. There's no 8-9. There's only 8-10. So that means that Fabrice Holtz gets the triple up.
I think
Look at this.
What's happening? No. Oh, 2-8. Jesus. Wow. He's going to get action too, right?
Yeah, probably. Timothy Adams may open, and if he wouldn't, then I think that Jans Arons would have just gone all in from the small blind with his suited king. But there go the aces. Timothy Adams, the chip leader, will make the call. Can the aces hold one more time? Yeah, no spade, and we're good. No spade. Look at that. Imagine you got some action on Fabrice, Fab 5. First, he gets the triple up. Now he gets a double up, and he's closing in on 1,000,000 chips. The odds for him to win tonight were 90-1. For every $10 you put in, you could have won 900. That's so sick.
Let's hope Archer doesn't go crazy here. The thing is, chip leader opening is very tempting to kind of pump it up with 2 6s, isn't it?
Yep. Obviously, Timothy Adams is going to open up in a somewhat loose way. He's got all the chips. He's going to put some pressure on the shorter stacks. Arthur may feel that his 6s are somewhat decent here. He also has to know that he will most likely not get a fold out of Timothy Adams. And then maybe best case scenario, you're flipping. But there is still Mammoth in the big blind with pocket jacks. Don't do it, Arthur. Don't do it.
I mean, you put a side bet on him last time. I don't want him to fail you twice in a row. It's real tempting. He would be jamming on a chip leader, which is the guy you want to chip jam on because oh wow, nice. He got away. He's safe.
And now I've got my other pick, the pick in the Roddy versus Nano contest. I think that Mammoth is going to put, just makes the call, but flops a set of jacks. Timothy Adams makes top pair. No call. Action hand.
Yep, our chip, that's the thing. You don't switch seats, you're going to get punished. You get to this final table multiple times, you don't win it, you're going to get punished. Here's Timothy Adams with top pair against Mammoth, who's got a big stack too. Do you go for the check raise of 2 jacks? The standard is yes. I guess the question is, how light does the chip leader is going to call you down because you're big too? And I think Mammoth knows, like, look, if he check raises this flop and he bets the turn and he bets the river, his opponent might just lay down a big ace. He's just better off just trying to check, let his opponent maybe puts him in some bluffs, to be fair, if Timothy Adams had a hand like King 10, King Queen, he probably would multi-barrel here too. And that's what you don't want those hands to fold.
I wouldn't mind a check raise on the turn. I think on the flop it could have been possible as well, but then obviously you feel silly if he folds immediately. This is a big bet by Timothy Adams, all right? What is that, 75% pot, something among those lines? Even 80?
Yeah. I think I still would call 2 jacks.
Yeah,
The
yeah, no,
reason
now
I
I
say
call.
this,
Oh
yeah.
my God, what a river. No, what a river. Timothy Adams makes trip aces, and Mammoth is sitting on a full house. He checks it as well.
Oh wow, Timothy Adams, he's made a very strong hand here. Can he just check here? I think it's
No.
reasonable for him to do it. He's a sick player. He might be like, look, I bet flop and turn. Is he really gonna call me again if a jack? Worst ace is possible though. Ace eights, ace sevens. Wow, I don't know what Timothy Adams gonna do, but it's be impressive if he can just get away from this. It's real tempting though
Yeah.
to just keep betting.
It is very tempting. On the other hand, I do think you make a valid point. Like, if you do bet here and you get jammed on, oh, he does bet. He's
Ah,
going to bet 650,000 chips. Pot is now over 2 million, and Mammoth is just loving life. And he's like, how is there a chance he's got ace 6, ace 4? Well, if there is, take it all, mate. Like, he's going all in,
take it
right? Mammoth?
all.
Mammoth
Exactly.
will just go all in here.
I would definitely be raising. It just seems like if my opponent's going to play ace king, ace queen, ace 10, and think,
Oh,
oh, he
he
just
makes a
called here.
call.
I mean, he's being a little bit safe here, but I think against that bet size, I would have put in the raise. But that's a
Yeah.
huge stack. Wow, he's in the top 2 now.
Yep. Oh my goodness, we've got some massive hands here in Nanonoko. What is going on? Mammoth is going to open up ace jack offsuit. Timothy Adams, the man who came in as chip lead, has got ace queen offsuit, and Seth Davies got pocket kings. My goodness.
Yeah, Timothy Adams probably going to 3-bet this hand, ace queen. He is going to put the 3-bet in. And Seth Davies like, wow, what a dream. Raise, 3-bet. It's also the perfect stack sizes that are 3-betting each other because like they so likely to just not have as much of a hand, you know? Like Seth Davies probably just gonna rip it in. Don't think there's any other play. If he makes it 700K, that thing looks like aces and kings, I'll tell you that. He's not gonna, yeah, there's no other
No.
play but just ship it in.
Okay, well, he makes it 1.4 million. He's basically all in. There's nothing to hit for Timothy Adams if he calls here. There is like nothing to hit. The aces are dead. Levinskas folded an ace as well. How are you going to make a straight when he's holding 2 kings? And he folds ace queen pre-flop. Good job there by Timothy Adams. That's the second excellent fold he's made pre-flop. And Davies is loving life.
Archer's going to get a double up here with 2 aces, right? Against my guy. This is a double win for you potentially.
Slow down, Nanonoko. We've done this
It's
before.
2 aces against ace king. Come on.
Yeah, and we have never seen 2 aces lose at a final table, right? That's pretty sick because Arthur shipped it previous round as well, right? With ace king, or no, that was Levinskas actually who got it in with ace king. Arthur Martirosian, a previous champ of the high roller super millions, is gonna get it all in here. Alex will make the snap call. We get the good game from Mr. Davies. Aces against ace king. No diamond. No diamond. Drawing dead on the turn. It doesn't get any cleaner than that. And Arthur gets the double up. We had how many people betting on Arthur? 103. So 103 nerds out there are very happy. Actually, 102. I'm one of the 103. I missed it 2 weeks in a row. Ace queen against ace king. Timothy Adams, perhaps in some trouble.
I think he might actually have to look up this one with ace queen. It's just too strong against Seth Davies. Yes, 25 big blinds, but he's going to be reshoving worse than ace queen for sure. This is the thing. You're the chip leader. You don't switch seats. This is what happens to you. Oh my God.
Oh. This is a big one. Can the chip leader spike a queen?
Oh.
Yes, he can. That is very unfortunate for Davies. Davies needs a king or he will be bamboozled. Is there pain? That is not a king and that is going to do it. Wow. Fabrice gets a pay jump and Davies gets a pretty disgusting beat. Mammoth is saying, so sick. That's it for Davies. Wow. Oh, Sorry, go ahead.
I've never seen so many Elky emojis at the same time. It was 4 or 5 literally at the same time. Everyone's saying good game. Everyone's celebrating on their computer. They just got a pay jump from the guy who had 2 million chips out of the tournament. Fabrice gets another pay jump. Look at everyone's just so happy. Wow, Timothy Adams luck boxed so hard in the hand because he was on a
Yep.
downward spiral to 2.5 million if he lost that one. Wow,
Yeah.
just saved by some poker god out there.
That was a
Oh my
4 million chip a pot, and we could get a big one here as well between two of the shortest stacks. Timothy Adams, he's opening up. He's irrelevant in this hand. Fabrice gets it all in, and I think that Levinskas is going to get it all in as well with his ace king suited. He has to know that it doesn't get much better than that. Here we go. 90-1 versus 45-1, I believe, for the opening odds.
I was going to
Yes.
say the same exact thing. Oh my God, Fabrice is potentially going to have a huge stack. Even Levinskas would have a huge stack. Would be amazing for those odds.
Well, ace king or a queen. We are looking for an ace king or a queen. That is not it. And that means that our Brazilian, who came in with 3 big blinds to the final table, now actually has a proper stack. What is happening now? He's got 1.8 million.
Oh my, and 90-1. Timothy Adams is what? We're under 3-1 to win this tournament. That is 30, more than 30 times. And I will tell you this, even though he's got 3x's stack size, he doesn't have 30x's stack size right now. This is pretty sick, and this feels like a Fabrice day today. I wish him the best. Levinskas is going to be potentially out of this tournament. Wow, and Fabrice also not only is he winning chips, he's also getting pay jumps that he did not expect to get.
Yep. Next up is $89,000 for 7th place, and it seems like that is going to be Levinskas, unless he spikes something on the river. He does not, and that means that he will be bamboozled. Levinskas goes out in 7th place, and Fabrice is now guaranteed top 6. Came in with 3 big blinds to the final table, and is already laddered up for $60,000. What an evening he's having, or morning actually. It's morning in Brazil. He's having the time of his life.
Yeah, and GG for Levinskas. Mammoth picking a little bit extra chips there. When we get this scenario with 3 short stacks with the same exact stack size, you just see the chip leader go crazy. Ace-9 suited here.
I would call.
I think it's the best hand.
Yeah.
I think I would call. I feel like it might be too strong of a spot to pass up.
Yeah.
Graphicel's smart. I think we saw him make that good read against the Seth Davies with that ace X suited, reshove. I think he might make the call here. He understands ICM, but he also understands there might not be a better spot than this to get a full double up. There's
And
the
he
call.
makes
That's
the
amazing.
call. Yeah, excellent call. Now, obviously, he still needs to hold. King 10 doesn't do too poorly here. That is a fun flop. Flush draw, but top pair, now pair of aces. And that means that Timothy Adams needs a king, queen, or a 10. That's not a diamond. Does not get there. So Grafteco gets the double up. And this is going to slow Timothy Adams down a little bit as well. He's like, all right, it was fun being crazy, but now I'm below 6 million again. I think it's time to slow your roll.
I guess sometimes you think about is, sure, I could have the best hand, but you think about the consequences. Say I call and lose. Where does it put me? Where does it put my opponents? But look at that flop, huh, for Fabrice.
Fabrice is going to win this tournament, mate. 90-1. It's like this man is running amazing. Ace-9 against Queen-9, you get it in pretty bad. You take a look at the flop. You don't only flop top pair, you flop a 9-high flush draw as well. You turn it on the straight. Arthur is now drawing that in his hand. The only way he could win is with a bluff, but I don't think that Fabrice is ever going to fold.
No, I think Archer does feel obligated to bluff this hand, though. It's just like, look, how's Ace-9 going to win this at showdown? It just seems almost impossible. I don't mind the bluff. And its opponent's been playing pretty tight. But it's not going to work.
No, Fabrice can fold this. Like, you're obviously always a little bit worried, but there's no way you can fold, right, for this sizing.
Nah. I mean, otherwise, I don't know why you're playing the hand in the first place, There we go.
To flop a straight. We flop top 2 pair. checks, and I think that Arthur will give up. Or is Arthur gonna go very crazy and be like, you know what? If I just squeeze my eyes, maybe that ace of spades becomes an ace of hearts, and I can pretend that I have it.
Hey, what about the color? How are you gonna explain that one?
And you don't. You're colorblind.
Good one, good one.
He's thinking though. He's like, can I get him off? Maybe a queen or indeed a lower heart. But the 9 is not a bad flush. Wow, that is a proper
Wow.
bet. That is a proper bet by Arthur. Fabrice got one hell of a decision. This is the kind of stuff we love to see, though, right?
This is tough. What I'm thinking is, if I'm Fabrice, is did you really check the ace of hearts or king of hearts on the flop? And are you really just starting to bet the turn and river? The thing is, it's a nasty spot. I'll tell you that. That's what I'd be thinking about. Is when do you bet the ace of hearts? Would you bet the king of hearts this way? I don't know all the answers to this for these stack sizes, but this is what you need to think about if you're in a sticky situation like this.
And like you're not worried about the 10 of hearts because they would just be checking down the 10 of hearts, right? Wow, Arthur gets him to
nice.
fold. Fabrice folds. Arthur takes it down. There was almost no way to win this hand on the flop, and there was no way to win it on the turn. But Arthur Martirosian gets it done. Uh-oh. Alex with 14 big blinds, A7.
This
I
is
think
tough. I'm gonna tell you,
yeah.
this is as tough as it hell because there's a guy with 6 big blinds and A7. I don't know, man. I don't know what to do.
Started the hands 15.5 big blinds. If he folds, he's got 14.5 left. I think he knows that A7 is probably ahead, but it's also one of these scenarios like, how ahead are you really, right? Like 60-40 is probably the best you're going to get.
It'll be an amazing call. It's not an easy
Oh,
call. He does make the call. Nice.
Well, let's see if A7 can hold, and it's a pretty safe flop. Now 76% favorite, and there you go, wrap it up. Oh, Mammoth has been playing a very solid final table tonight. Instead, he doubles up the Nanonoko pick. Alex Papasian has been very quiet, but now he's back to 3.1 million. What a call.
Be cute, but oh my god, ace jack. What? This is tough because look at Fabrice.
Yeah, but no, we don't care about that one page on Nanonoko. To make money in tournaments, you got to make top 3. And this could very well be Jans Arends, his golden ticket to make top 3 at this tournament. If he doubles up here, he has almost 5 million chips. If we call ace 9 suited, we're calling ace jack, right? Come on.
Wow, yeah, I know. He knows. The thing is, he knows he's ahead, or at least flipping. You know, like
it's a call, and he's gonna call.
This is a dream scenario, really. All he's really thinking about is how close is it when Fabrice is so short. I think you just got to. The pay jumps are getting bigger too, which is annoying, right? Because obviously, if there was 9 people left, he would just be the easiest call ever. 8 people, but pay jumps are starting to get a little bit bigger. Look at this. The hurry up kind of taunts him to call. I don't think Timothy Adams wants his opponent to call.
No, he doesn't. I think in round, as they said, when they act strong, they're weak. And when they act weak, they're strong. I think Jans will make a call. He's really thinking about it. It is obviously a bit awkward with Fabrice this short. But I think right now, we're not worried about that one pay jump. This really could be your golden opportunity.
Yeah, this could be the tournament defining moment for himself here. I've never seen Timothy Adams like someone actually emoji. Oh wow, he folds, and that could be the game changing hand. Wow, ace jack is just, I think it's too good. It's just way too good.
Fabrice, the hand he's been waiting for, and Timothy's gonna call him as well, and probably spike an ace. Oh, that's so funny. He gets kings with 2.5 big blinds, gets it all in. Timothy makes the reshove with ace queen. I feel like we're gonna see an ace. Yeah,
It's
that's
just destiny, right? Like when
yeah,
you've been
yeah,
folding some
yeah.
criminal hands, you deserve it. I know I wanted to see the 90-1 to win it, but
Yeah,
like after some of those, it's funny. We both had the same exact logic.
yeah. No, I feel like that just happens if you wait for kings. When you're down to two big blinds, you know there's gonna be an ace on the flop.
Two
And
nines. It's no wonder these guys are going to combine a stack.
yep, I feel like we're gonna get it all in here. First hand after the break. Alex with the ace king, Graf Dekel, Jans Arends with the pocket nines. You don't just call here with nines, right? Like it's too hard to play.
Nah, rip it in for sure.
Yeah.
It's just it's as standard as it gets. You play off the fold equity, mate. Usually.
Mm-hmm. So the nines will get it all in. Ace king will obviously call. And we're flipping. This is a big one. 4.3 million in the middle. Ace king versus nines. Will Nana Noko's pick survive? The queen
I
is
don't know
good
about
too.
that.
Oh, it's
Okay,
over.
dead.
It is over. Wow. Nano's first hand. Nano's pick first hand after the break is gone. He will be eliminated in 5th place. There goes Alex. Came in as second. A lot of people did bet on him as well when it comes to the final table betting. Walks away with $136,000, I believe it was. This is a funny one. Timothy Adams is opening up under the gun 10-9 offsuit. Jans Arends is sitting on pocket sixes. Arthur Martirosian has the shortest stack at the table. And 11 big blinds is sitting at pocket sevens. And then Mammoth actually has the two overcards to everyone, the queen jack.
Oh man, your bet is ready to double up here. This is as good as it gets because I don't know if 2 6s can fold, especially against Archer. It's 11 big blinds. This is a dream scenario.
I think he folds though. 1.2
Maybe
million. I think 1.2 million is just a bit too much. I mean,
it's 9 big blinds too. Oh, he makes the call. And your guy's good. He's back in it with you. Got the bet
no,
on him, right?
stop. Don't say those
What?
things. Oh,
Look
you
at
could chop it up. Okay.
yeah.
Oh, flush draw as well as sixes and a flush draw. Can Arthur survive? Yes, he can. The sevens will double up. Now you can say that he's back then.
Okay,
Now I'm okay with it.
I know what I'm talking about. It's impossible to lose these scenarios. Most likely, what would have happened is a chop at worst. You know, a chop at worst.
Oh no. Arthur is in trouble. Ace queen on the small blind against pocket queens in the big blind. The Russians are going to battle it out here. Here we go. We need an ace for Arthur or he will be bamboozled. And that flop is not looking very good. The turn doesn't help him. An ace and an ace only, or we are down to 3. And that's not an ace. GG. Arthur eliminated in 4th place.
Man, that's a cooler. You know, that's unfortunate. I know your side bet lost, but at least your non-money side bet is still on.
And I mean, I did say I prefer. This could be it, by the way. Yep, ace-6 is a snap call. Pocket threes against ace-6. Are we going to heads up or not? Oh, that's not a bad flop for threes, to be honest. Okay. A 7 deuce or a 3? That is not going to do it. Wow. Graf Dekel with the double up. It's not a big one, but it's a double up. Uh-oh. Nanonoko could be some fireworks.
Yeah, I think this is the end of Graf Dekel, right? Like, how do you not reshove ace-8 in this spot? I just don't see it. So your guy in a good spot to get in contention for a heads-up match with Timothy Adams. As long as he holds this one.
Ace-8 versus pocket 8. Can the Russian hold? That is a mighty fine flop for 8s. All right, clubs now as well. So an ace or a club is going to be enough. There's the club. It's unbelievable. But Mammoth loses a 5 million chip pot on the river. Graf Dekel gets a massive double up. And now he's the one hunting down Timothy Adams. Timothy Adams? It's always tempting to call with Jack-10, right? Even though you know that you're probably not ahead. It is pretty tempting. He does make the call. The chip leader makes the call. He is behind, but Jack-10 flops pretty good. Well,
Hard to lose.
3.
Hard to lose, but he's gonna win it. Oh my god, that's terrible. Don't hit the king and then lose it still.
No, goodbyes, good games. are shared across the table. And that means that we are heads up for our 26th edition. $315,000 at top. Mammoth is out in third place with $207,000. Can Grafdekel turn this around? The odds for Grafdekel were pretty good, right? What was it, 12-1, something like that?
Well,
10
let's
to
take
1?
a look. So for Jan Zarens, Graphico, he was 10.2 to 1. There was a total amount of bets of $3,200 put on him, as you can see on the little graphic right under my webcam. Timothy Adams had $19,000 in bets on him. 100. You can see how many people actually bet. 152, 100. So actually, a lot of people did believe on these two guys.
Uh-oh. Noko, this could be trouble. In a heads
This
up.
is a yeah. This is a limp jam spot for Ace 8, in my opinion.
Well,
Oh,
he's gonna call. So this is it. Ace Queen versus Ace 8. If Timothy, oh my goodness, trip 8s. What? 8 million chips. Grafdekel completely back. We get a queen on the river as well. Wow. What a moment to double up. Oh my goodness.
How salty are the people who bet on Timothy Adams? That $19,000 worth of bets is just like, we could have shipped it. And someone definitely picked Ace Queen
Ace
offsuit.
Queen, yeah. Ace Queen off. I was about to say Ace Queen offsuit. That must be a guess in the guess the winning hand Twitter jackpot contest. But it needs to be Jack 10 of Hearts tonight, Nanonoko. It's just written in the stars.
All right, here we go. It's an 8-6. I throw a little min bet up. No, okay, check. Okay, 2 pair versus a mid pair. And Graphico's going to think his 8 is good, especially when there's no raise pre-flop. There's no bet on the flop. You expect Timothy Adams to bet a king.
What about an 8 on the river?
That'd be nasty. But like there's still a decent amount of chips going to go in here, in my opinion.
Jans will most likely make the call. The 8 of spades is still out there somewhere, Nanonoko. Okay.
Look, I know what you're thinking. You're just thinking, let's not bust anyone until someone gets Jack 10 of hearts. Let's get the stack. You want the stacks to be shallow, though, right? So they're forced to get it all in.
You know what would be the worst thing ever? It's like 8.7 million against 8.5 million, and the guy with 8.5 million gets Jack 10 of hearts and doubles up, and the other guy's left with less than a big blind. You're like, no.
Yeah. Well, here's an over bet from Timothy Adams, and this is tricky because once your opponent overbets, it does look very polarizing. Graphico's thinking, okay, you wouldn't bet an 8 this way, you wouldn't bet a 9 this way, probably. So what do you got? And he's probably gonna, if he does make a call, he's put him on like a 7x, a 5x, kind of a gut shot that kind of needs to force their way to try to win the pot, I guess. The line is very funny. It's coming into play. There's a check on the flop, no raise pre-flop. Man, Graphico might be like, he might be searching for some value hands and is having some trouble finding them, to be honest.
Makes the call. Wow. Timothy Adams with a beautiful overbet on the river takes a 4.2 million chip pot down. He will be playing some cash games tonight. Some rush and cash. Oh my goodness. Well, mate, I feel like I picked pocket queens a couple weeks ago. You remember we did a guess the winning hand contest? I picked queens 3 weeks ago, Timothy Adams. And I think those suits as well. I kid you not.
Oh, I guarantee you this jackpot is over if the queens hold here today, because the queen of spades and hearts are very common suits to pick.
You
we'll
jinxed
see.
me, Nanonoko. I picked pocket queens like 3 or 4 weeks ago. Oh, and those suits as well. Here we go, guys. Queens against ace queen. If there is no ace on this board, Timothy Adams will be the champ of the 26th edition of the High Roller Super Millions. Needs to survive the river, and he does. Pocket queens will be the winning hand. Queen of spades, queen of hearts. I think you're right, Nano. Somebody must have picked that. And that is going to wrap it up. Big shout out to Grafdekel for his second place. I think an awesome performance by him tonight. But the chip leader does it again. Back-to-back chip leading, or the person that came in as chip leader to the final table ends up winning the entire tournament, which means that there were 152 bettors on our chip leader, and they have paid out $49,719. This seems like an easy game, Nanonoko, this final table betting. You take a look at who's chip leading the tournament, you place a bet on him, and it's all good. Hello, everyone, and welcome. It is Tuesday evening, which means it is time for another edition of the High Roller Super Millions, of course, played over at GGPoker. I am Kevin van der Kooi, also known as Ruddy, and as always, I am joined by my fantastic co-commentator, analyst, professional, Nanonoko. What's up, Nano? How has the week been for you?
Everything's good. I'm excited for this one. You know, it's a special big one, I believe, a WSOPC version. I think we had a 5 million guarantee, so this prize is huge. Many more players. You know, usually when we have these series, we may get one guy that, you know, we've seen before make it to final table because of all the new faces, but we have more than one guy who's been to our final tables here, and it's not just one of those guys who got 9th place in bust. You know, these are some pretty big names here, so I'm pretty excited, especially with that final table betting feature now. Like, I think there's a lot of money riding on this one.
Yep. Normally we have a little chitty chat and we talk about a couple of the other exciting things that happen over at GGPoker or the YouTube channel, and we will still get into that. But right now we've got 9 minutes for the final table betting still open. So let's just bring up the beautiful graphic that we have prepared, so we can spend the last 9 minutes talking about the players that have made it to the 27th edition of the High Roller Super Millions final table. And then we can take a look at who you guys should get some last minute bets in, because you've got 9 minutes left to throw in a cheeky one there. These are the 9 players that have made it to the final table. Nanonoko, I feel like I already know who you're going to talk about first, but where do you want to start, mate? Where do you want to start?
I mean, really, I think it's the top 3 guys. That's where all the money's at. Where you can see there's $16,000 to $22,000 in bets. Let's look at the guy who's got the most chips, Joaquin Malagno. This is Pablo Malagno. If you're like a regular in the scene, you'll know this guy. If you don't know much about him, you wouldn't know. But he's got all the chips. He's from Uruguay. He's crazy. He's the chip leader. Chip leader keeps shipping these tournaments, right? It's ever since the final table betting. So you know, it's a good chance he'll ship it again.
I mean, the odds 3.55 for the man who comes in as chip leader, and a pretty dominant chip leader as one. As you guys can see, 12 million chips, almost 13 million even. You know, the odds are actually still quite good. Like, we've seen lower odds for a chip leader coming into this final table. But Nanonoko, come on, you're not going to tell me that the chip leader ships this tournament 3 weeks in a row ever since we introduced final table betting. That's crazy. I don't want to talk about it, okay? That money is dead to me, Nanonoko. It's a shame that those 124 people were wrong. It is what it is. We can take a look at our second player, Mr. Anderson. He's back. And if that doesn't ring any bells to you, formerly known as Mr. Gamble. He already made it to the final table, not last week, but the week before. And he also came in, I think, second or even as chip leader back then. And I put a decent sized bet on Mr. Gamble. And he let me down, Nanonoko. It wasn't meant to be that week.
Yeah, you haven't won your bets. But, you know, Anderson, he's very good. Like, this guy, he's got a first place, a second place, and even another big place, too. He has like 4 final tables, if I recall correctly, but he hasn't played every single Super Millions like some of the other guys have. He's only played like, say, 10 roughly. It's a really sick track record. He's, again, coming in the top. He's coming in second place in chips. He's aggressive. That's what you need to do when you win. He's good. But you know, like, I'm wondering, did you put a bet on him, or is this someone else you put a bet on today, Roddy?
You let me down once, I stopped believing, Nanonoko. Mr. Gamble, I tried. I believed in you in week 1. I thought this was destiny. I was like, it's written in the stars. He's my guy. I'm going to cheer for him. We love him. He didn't get the job done. We can take a look at the man who comes in as, well, actually, he doesn't come in as 3rd. He comes in as 4th to this final table. He has less chips than the man below him. But the guys over at PokerShares and GG were like, we can't make the odds for him too high, because we know he's got a big following. Samuel Valsen may not ring that many bells. The European rings all the bells. And obviously I've got a bet in 6.7 for a guy who comes in as 4th. It's obviously not like the craziest payout, but it's the European, Nanonoko. You got to believe in that one.
I mean, if you look at the graphic, technically he comes in fifth, right? Him and Roger Scruton have.
Oh, yes.
He's got less chips than Roger. Not much, but if you look at the odds difference, it's 10.25 versus 6.7 of the European. They have the same exact chip stack. They're basically saying he's 33% better than Roger Scruton here. I don't know who Roger is, but can his skill difference really be a 33% edge than another player in this final table with the same stack? I'm not so sure, because we're playing the 10K Super Millions. We're playing like, the $5 sitting guy. Yeah, I can sure get behind that, but it's hard to bet against the European. He consistently does well. He's been to our final tables before, but he's kind of got like those 4th through 6th place spots. He's a solid player, but there's something special about this one. I think he might actually do very well in. He does very well in large fields, tournaments. He does well in high rollers too, like small fields, but the large ones, he does really, really well. I think his play style works really well against more of the kind of regs that are in there, but not the best ones out there, which maybe some of these other guys in the tournament still is. So I do think there's a good chance he might do really well today. And I believe you said you put some money down on this guy, right?
Yep, I went for the full hundo, or even a little more than that. I don't know exactly. I believe if he wins it, we'll walk away with $700. Now, I've been burning to ask you this question all week long, and I didn't want to ask you before I placed my bets because I thought it would be lame. Like, on one hand, I think the European is a great bet. We know that this guy is a crusher. You see him on different streams all the time, making epic runs. All the high-profile tournament players talk very highly about him, which obviously makes him, to some degree, a great bet. But there is that but, where I think he's also a player who's incredibly ICM aware. And in some of these previous final tables, we've seen him, he doesn't make mistakes, but he also doesn't have like that crazy X factor where you're like, okay, he can go on this epic run where he just wins pot after pot. Like, I think for a top 3, top 4 finish, you could say it's almost a lock. Nothing is obviously certain in poker, but that seems like a great bet. But is he actually a great bet to win it? Or are we getting carried away by the hype that is the European?
Some people you might be getting a little bit carried away. You're correct that he is very ICM aware. He understands it. Yes, he does use it to his strength. If he's a chip leader, then he's a great bet. This guy will put the pressure on the other people who are doing all the ICM stuff, right? But he will understand especially in large fields, because this is a bigger Super Millions. In a bigger Super Millions, the pay jumps are going to be bigger. It's over 600K for first this time, not 300K. He's going to know the pay jumps are important. He's going to know that laddering is important. I think actually the best bets might be Mr. Gamble, to be honest. Based on the odds, his style puts him in that position to win. And he's actually won this tournament before. While I also like Malagno, his odds is not as good as Mr. Gamble. So, I kind of like the Mr. Gamble a little more. But Malagno's style will also help him win the tournament a lot more often. Yes, they got more chips than European, but European style, if he gets one lucky hand, then he's in great position to ship it. But, is he going to get that lucky spot? Is he going to get one of those flips or coolers where he chips up to 10 million? I don't know. But if you had a betting man and you just wanted someone to get a consistent top 3, like you said, this guy is definitely it.
Yeah, consistent top 3, yes. To win it, I think it's obviously going to be hard, but it's hard not to feel the hype. So I obviously went for it too. I mean, I'm also, just in general, I think, a fan of a lot of the Finnish players, man. I feel like there's something in the water there over in Finland, but they just seem to create a lot of great tournament players. We've got another Finn at the final table. His odds are a lot better. He's got a few less chips. 12-1. How much can you tell us about Jorma? I know this is not our official pre-show yet, but I don't bet on Jorma.
I don't know any of these other guys besides the top 3, to be honest. But what stands out to me is Vika. No one believes in Vika. $482 bet on. But if you look at Vika's stack in MK Ultra, I would definitely bet Vika over MK Ultra based on the odds alone. Their stack is so similar. It just seems like you're better off putting your money on the 9th place guy if you were going to bet on the 8th place guy, in my opinion. Maybe he's like a $5 sit and go winner, to qualify in. Who knows?
Now, before we actually get started with our pre-show, last but not least, you can see a lot of bets coming in on Kotel Nikov as well. You said you're not that familiar with him, but I also, like, I throw in a little bet in there, Nano. I actually have, like, quite a few plays tonight. I just didn't pick the top two. Because I was like, there's no way that the chip leader wins it 3 weeks in a row. That's just impossible, okay? Like, that money is lost. Now, Mr. Gamble, I should have gone for him, but on the other hand, I was like, he already let me down in the first week of final table betting. I think it's time for someone else to shine. And I have a good feeling about the Russians, man. Like, Arthur obviously delivered the first time I picked him. The only champ that I ever managed to pick. And I think in general, like, you look at some of the high-stakes cash games as well. Guys like Fruit Teller. I mean, I know it has nothing to do with Kotel Nikov. But something about Finnish and Russian tournament players, they just give me a good feeling.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like to pick Brazilian players personally. If you don't know, I don't know Roger Screwdriver. Brazilian players, man, they got that style to go for that first place. They're reckless. But if I recall correctly, I did do a little research. I think Kotel Nikov is a reg, MTT reg that plays regularly. So what your bet is actually probably a pretty good bet. We'll see. I mean, that's what we don't know, but it's always fun. That's one of the cool features that GG has added, is that now you can bet through the client, through poker shares, and sweat the action, because it's fun watching, but it's extra fun when you get, even if you just had, like, I don't know what the minimum bet is, but if you just had the minimum in there, like, you still would have extra fun sweating this, I imagine.
As far as I know, it's $1, Nano. I believe you can bet as low as $1. I haven't tried it yet, guys. I mean, PLO
You're DJ. You're going big. You're going 100x.
No. I mean, we're getting a little carried. This week, I may have gotten a little carried away, but we'll talk more about my potential winnings soon. Final table betting is now closed, guys, because the players technically start playing now, but obviously we commentate with a delay. So in 30 minutes, the final table starts for us. From here on out, final table betting is closed, which means it is time for us to officially start our pre-show of the 27th edition of the High Roller Super Millions. Nano already said it. This is a big one. Normally, it's a $1.5 million guaranteed. This time, it's a $5 million guaranteed. We had, let me double check, 511 entries this week. So a proper field. Prize pool is going to be amazing tonight. We've got some big names. I'm excited for it. But before we really dive into player profiles, and we'll take these guys one by one, how's your week been, Nanonoko? Anything you want to share with all the poker fans out there?
No, I mean, I did rail a little bit, just reading poker news on the World Series main event that's going on. I believe the GG one is still playing as we speak, live at the King's Casino or something like that. Yeah. So that's cool. The Vegas one played down to the final 9 the other day. So that's, I like to just be a little railbird to just read these updates, and it's cool. I think Damien Salas is, like, clearly chip leading with a couple left, and he made the WSOPC main event final table before, so that's always cool to see. But I want to give you one little info about this tournament. I was looking at this lobby earlier yesterday or so, and there was one guy who bought it 9 times, Mikita Bodzikowski. 9 times, and he didn't cash in this series today. So these other 9 guys here can thank him for that little extra pay jump that he's giving them.
Man, that was a lot of dedication trying to make a final table. He just wants to be commentated by us, Nanonoko. He wants to see you calling hand over when he gets it in bad, and then he wants to suck out. I get it. But yeah, 9 binds, that's proper. I did not catch that part. That's pretty insane. Now, before we really dive into everything, I got to ask you, because it kind of became our weekly tradition, how much have you been watching of the Daniel versus Doc high stakes feud? You've seen a couple of the broadcasts this week.
I have been watching a little bit. I like watching, I like to check out all the different broadcasts for different reasons. The GG one's cool too, but, Joe Ingram's pretty funny. His graphics are insane. But Daniel almost down $1 million at one point. He did fight back in that last session. It's I always make sure to watch the YouTube of Daniel Negreanu that he makes of all his recap with big hands, and he's just always cursing them, but it's a cool way to get a
Yeah, what about that one post-match interview? That was a feisty one too. I don't think I've ever seen a man say that many curse words in like 85 seconds or whatever it was. Man, I've actually been having a lot of fun watching. I had a very busy week myself, a lot of StarCraft stuff happening, which was very cool. Still got a couple of hands of poker in here and there as well. Did a little session. Didn't go too bad actually. Second place in a little turbo nano. I was like, yeah. But I couldn't believe my eyes when Daniel set out after he had the bad beat with the trip queens and he had the ace of hearts against the king 10 of hearts, sits back down, gets aces versus kings, all in pre-flop, loses that one too. I was like, this is becoming a bit too brutal for me. I can't watch this. So my alarm goes off, guys, because in 10 minutes, there's the first free roll starting of the night. So open a GG client, find the free roll section, password GGTV. That's simple. GGTV password for our very first free roll of the night starts in 10 minutes. Go get on it. But what I thought was almost even more insane than that whole sequence of kings, aces after the break was when Doc legitimately, it felt like he had trips 11 or 12 times in like 20 hands. I could not believe what I was watching. And I have a poker friend in America. He's a bit of a DJ, but he plays pretty high stakes and he goes to Vegas very often. And he's like, the way that the dog is running right now, he's like, even you'd be beating Danny at this point. And I was like, well, I don't know if that's true, but I couldn't believe my eyes. That was so many trips, Nano.
Yeah, Daniel is running bad. He's still losing technically, even if the EV was kind of more even up. But, it's hard to judge these things. He needs to keep his cool and just, try his best, which, he says he's doing. Is he doing it? I don't know, but it was a bloodbath at some point in that one session, right? And it was definitely fun to watch. But you can subscribe to this channel. You can watch the next session it comes on. For now, let's watch some 10K Super Millions.
Let's get on to it. Last but not least, I do want to say that not only the videos of Daniel have been great, I love the tweets of Dog as well, where he basically bluffed his entire stack with 7 high, and he's like, can you believe it? These two hands running into each other, what are the odds? I've been having such a good time following that action. So indeed, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're watching this here over at GGPoker's YouTube channel. Turn on the notifications so you'll see when they will continue their heads up feud. I think they're like 10,000 hands in right now. So still plenty to play for. But as Nano said, it is time for us to dive into the high roller Super Millions. In 23 minutes, we'll be covering live poker. Now, we're just doing a little pre-show. Let's take a look at the 9 players that have made it to the final table of the 27 edition. A big one, 5 million guaranteed. And let's kick things off with our chip leader, the man from Uruguay. You already said it, Nanonoko. You're familiar with him. Man, not only is he great at poker, he's also good looking. Life is not fair. Tell us why we should be so excited to have this man chip leading our final table.
The Uruguay players are the craziest ones. Malagno, he, like when me and Kevin Martin did that Battle of Malta stream, we had another guy from Uruguay, very famous, Reg. He was insane. This guy is a different type of insane. He's got the craziest strategy. When I first played him live, I was playing a 25K in the Bahamas. I didn't know if this guy was a reg at first. I was like, this guy's limping, min clicking, doing all these sorts of crazy, but this is how he plays. This guy's got a reputation for the weirdest plays. He's got creative lines, but he's good. He's made a lot of money in poker. He's coming as a chip leader. There's a good chance he just ships this tournament, but you know what? If he doesn't, it's going to be fun to watch. I'll tell you that. But apparently he just satellited in just a $250 tournament, and he's only played it 3 times in Super Millions.
I know, so definitely a newbie to our final table, but that's a cool fact as well. Spent $250, and now he is chip leading this final table. You guys have seen the betting odds before, 3.55 to 1. Let's take a look at one of the hands that, as you call him, this mad lad has had on his journey to the final table. I'd say this hand fits the description of what you just told us about him. Because Nanonoko, what do I see?
He just check raising from the small line, Queen 10 suited, just putting the pressure on. This is what you're going to see when you're approaching the final table. Right now, we're actually at the final. He's going to keep doing moves on people, and if they don't pick up some hands, they're just going to get run over. And, he's not representing much, but his opponent is just like, I'm not going to fight back against you because this money's too big. This is just pure muscle poker, and this is gonna be fun today.
And this was very close to the final table as well, right? Looking at these stacks, and look at how many chips Guillaume Nolet still had here. This poor guy probably ran queens into something again, you know, knowing how Guillaume has been doing deep into the high roller super millions. Yeah, pretty wild hand. And I think this is just a little preview of the aggression we can expect from our Uruguayan chip leader tonight. So let's take a look at our second player that has made it to the final table. We already hyped him up. He's back. This man even has fans in the world of StarCraft now. I know it doesn't make sense, but a couple of my StarCraft viewers, they really like watching the high roller super millions as well. They've been memeing nonstop that I should go full Mr. Gamble on people. And he's back again. His fourth final table already. He's won it once. He took a second place once. This guy's just crushing the high roller super millions.
Yeah, and that's funny. The first time we saw him, he got second place. We're like, man, we don't know much about him, but he was doing some reckless plays and they were fun. I think he lost to Ole Shemion, if I recall correctly. I'm not 100% sure. But then after that, the next week he came back to ship that tournament on October 27th. Here he is again in the top stack. Look at the stats. He's only played the Super Millions 9 times.
That is insane.
And, you know, we have, 25 editions. He's got 6 cashes, 4 final tables, 1 win, a first, a second, a fifth. Like, he's not getting to the final table getting 9th or 8th. This guy always has chips, and he's aggressive. And I think he's a good chance to win it. He had some solid odds here. You didn't believe him in today, but he might make you a little salty.
He would make me salty, but I think I might just pick him in our prediction game. So, you know, I'm covering all my bases now. Yeah, absolutely insane statistic by Mr. Gamble. Only 9 entries into the high roller super millions, or at least he has played in 9 editions. And he's made 4 final tables. These fields are incredibly difficult. They're stacked, filled with good players. And on top of that, some of them have been very big, including this one, over 500. That is just an insane track record, and that's got to get you guys a little excited. And if you're not excited yet, well, let's take a look at one of the hands that Mr. Anderson had on his journey to another final table. It's not the nut low, but it's pretty damn close to it. Nanonoko, Mr. Gamble is nuts.
Yeah, he raises the 7-4 offsuit his opponent, gets called. He bets the flop with nothing, gets called. Checks the turn, usually looking to give up, and the river came, you know, that Broadway ace king. He just puts a pot-sized bet roughly and gets his opponent to fold. You know, it does not represent him much, but I guess he's just doing the power. This is how you win tournaments. You know, you put pressure on. A lot of people, they're like, Sai, I'm just gonna give up. You might have a 9, you'll call me, but sometimes you just gotta make those bets. Sometimes they'll call, but a lot of times they won't, and you put yourself in a good position.
Pretty insane hand. One hell of a bet to make 1.2 million chips on the river there with, well, 7 high, almost the board. Let's take a look at the man who comes in third in chips. We barely spoke about this young man so far. Tasmania 888 has played in 2 high roller super millions so far. Did not cash the first time, but he comes in third in chips to this final table with 28.1 big blinds. You want to bet on him? You're getting 8-1, which is pretty good. It's more than you get for some of the guys that have less chips than him. But yeah, Nanonoko, looking at his stats, I mean, somewhat active on GGPoker, but most of these numbers don't tell us that much about his abilities.
Yeah, probably the previous Super Millions he played was also one of these big special events, the World Series of Poker C. He doesn't play 10K tournaments. If we look at his results, it's like a bunch of $500s, $1,000. Probably, you know, pretty solid player still, but maybe that's why his odds wasn't as good. You know, I mean, it's better for you, but, you know, like odds compared to European who's got less chips than him, you know, Europeans seems to be the better player based on that fact alone. You know, I don't know much about him, but you know, he's here to try his best. But you know, I don't think as many bets were placed on him as other guys out there.
Well, let's see if we get to know a little more about him. If we take a look at one of his hands, as Tasmania 888 had a somewhat interesting hand on his journey to this final table. I'm looking at it and I'm like, well, I think it makes sense to me. I mean, he flops very good. And then the hand kind of plays itself. But what do you make of this, Nanonoko?
I would say the hand seems pretty standard. Yeah, no, I don't think anything's wrong here. It just looks like, I guess he didn't raise his flop with a big draw. Some guys like to raise with pair and flush draw a lot of times, but I think he played it pretty good.
All right, well, then let's move on and take a look at our next player, the only Brazilian to make it to the final table of our 27th edition, Roger Scruton. Obviously, we don't know much about him. I love the fact that the min cash tonight is 10 times the amount of money he's won so far over at GG. That's insane. This man's got to be maybe drunk on caipirinhas already because he's having the time of his life. He's in for just one hell of a day. And looking at these cashes and looking what he's going to win tonight guaranteed, that's insane, Nana.
Yeah, well, I mean, based on this data alone, the odds were saying that the European, who's got the same exact chip stack as him roughly, is 33% better than this guy. Well, based on the stats here, maybe that's true, because this guy plays $200 tournaments, 500 to 1Ks. He doesn't have many GGPoker winnings. This is only Super Millions he's played, so he doesn't have experience against these opponents. So, you know, we're not too sure what to expect, but he is from Brazil. I don't know if this is going to be one of those crazy Brazilian players, but because if you look at his GGPoker results, we got a bunch of 991st, 140, 19th, 15th. Like, maybe he's trying to be crazy and just doesn't work.
Well, I think if my GGPoker winnings up to this point are 13K and I make it to this final table with 22 big blinds, I'm lathering up, mate. Like, I'll let these other guys duke it out for the chip lead. I don't give a damn. Give me a couple pay jumps, and we'll see where the ship fills eventually. Let's take a look at one of the hands that Roger had. If he runs like this tonight, he could very well have a deep run at these final tables, because good old ace-3 versus ace-queen, a pretty brutal river here for the European. What do you make of the hand, Nano?
Actually, it's funny because both of these, we're talking about the odds, and the European has it's 33% better than Roger here, but he's actually the one, both of these guys are involved here, and Roger actually looks like he might have outplayed the European a little bit here. Here, he check calls that pair, and he leads the turn when the bottom card pairs. He actually gets called by just ace-queen high, bets the river, and gets jammed on, tricked the European into thinking his hand is good enough to jam for value, and he gets a full double up here. I think he played it really well. A lot of guys will just check the turn because, you know, they're like, I just got a pair of threes, but leading's probably actually the best play. They can represent the trip deuces because, you know, the guy raising in middle position usually doesn't have a deuce unless it's ace deuce exactly. And you kind of just stop your opponent from getting a free card. A lot of times they'll just check back the turn like king, queen, queen, jack. You don't want to give those guys a free chance to hit a card, and I think he played it well.
All right, well, then let's move on to the man of the hour that we've been speaking about for the majority of this broadcast so far. And of course, once again, guys, in 13 minutes, the actual poker will start. This is our pre-show. Hopefully you guys enjoy just learning a little more about these players. Next up, the man who comes in as fifth, but is the third betting favorite, Samuel Valsden, also known as the European. This is his sixth cash so far in the High Roller Super Millions, his third final table. Previous final tables didn't really work out, right? A sixth place and a fifth place. But today, he comes in with almost, I would say, some pressure. Not just to win, but all the nerds out there on the interwebs that believe him in Nanonoko. Do you think that this will have any impact on the way that the European plays tonight?
The European will play how he thinks is the best. He's one of the most solid players out there. He's got a good network of people. He studies all that. He's got a very good mindset. I think this guy doesn't tilt at all. He grinds. He doesn't grind as many tables as like some of the other MTT regs. They play every single high stakes tournament they can. But the European, he just plays like 4 max, or something like this. He concentrates more. He understands when there's a lot on the line. Even like when there's like a big tournament, sometimes it's just one table. Like he really hones in. He's strong. He's one of my personal favorite players to MTT players out there to watch. I know you're a big fan of him as well. He hasn't performed yet. He's got a 6th and a 5th place. He's come into a position actually with a solid stack before, I believe. Today, he's in a good spot. There's a lot of money being bet on him. We'll see if he gets it done.
Let's take a look at one of the hands that the European had on his journey to his third final table. And this one, it's actually kind of interesting now. I took a look at it and I'm like, I like it, but do you like it?
I love it. I think this is I would say for most MTT guys, this is pretty standard bet. But if you're like a newbie, maybe you don't because you're like, oh, I just got 10 high. Regardless, when your opponent checks back this flop and it comes out a 4 straight and you're in the big blind, it's almost an auto bet with almost any 2 cards because you can represent the straight really well. You defend from the big blind. And your opponent, if they have a hand like ace king here, like, are they going to call you? Probably not. So like, it's just, you got the advantage once his opponent checks. It's a mandatory, especially when you've got outs to a draw.
Alrighty, we've got 10 more minutes and a couple of players to cover. So let's take a look at one of our next players, who I believe is another Finnish player. Yes, indeed, Jorma Nuutinen. Now, as you guys can see, he has not really been crushing it yet over at GGPoker. Has done pretty decent in some of the bigger live events over the years, though. He has played in 4 high roller Super Millions so far. He rebouted once, and he's never made $1 out of this tournament up to today. Today, the min cash will make up for all those buy-ins and a little bit more. Yeah, no, I wasn't familiar with him, and you also said that you don't know that much about Jorma, correct?
Correct. I don't know anything about him besides. I mean, it's a funny statistic we put out there. We put the 30th all-time money list. Like, top 30. Is that a good statistic for all-time money in Finland? I don't actually know. Like you put me on there, American. Like 1,000th all-time money, like, is that a good statistic to put up there? I'm not so sure, but we'll see. We'll see how he plays today.
Well, it's better than I would do on the Dutch all-time money ranking, so I think it's still something to be a little proud of. He's in a great spot tonight, though. Comes in with 16 big blinds, so absolutely still has some play in him. And I always kind of believe in the Finnish players. Let's take a look at one of the hands that Jorma had on his journey to his very first final table and cash at the high roller Super Millions. And this is a wild hand, man. Like, look at the chip stacks, how big these stacks already are. This spot became massive. No, I'll just hand over the keys to the wheel. You take it from here, because this is a big one.
Looks like Jorma just lost most of his chips here. This is why he's coming in 6th place instead of a chip lead. It looks like his opponent actually check called the flop, open straight draw. And he bet the turn and got shoved on, and he called it off with ace king, top pair. I think he played it fine. Like, just really nothing he can do. It just be a little bit luckier next time, I suppose. But he still got 16 big blinds.
All right. Well, let's see if Jorma can get a little bit luckier later tonight. I'm gonna throw in a little bet on him. We'll go over that part soon. But yeah, I'm just happy to see 2 Finnish guys at these final tables. I believe in them. I believe they'll give us a proper show. Let's take a look at our next player, who comes in 7th to this final table. MK Ultra. We already saw him being involved in some of the other hands we've seen before. This man, no stranger to high rollers, but only his 2nd high roller Super Million so far. But it's also his 2nd cash. No, what do you know about MK Ultra?
I don't know anything about him, but he's played the Super Millions twice. But the last time he played it was during the World Series, so you can see he only plays this tournament because it's extra big, and it is extra big. He's coming in with a little bit of chips, 11 big blinds, but apparently he won $100,000 while playing this exact tournament at the same exact time. So I guess he's good at multi-tabling, probably a reg that needs a little bit of run good now.
Fine, he must have been running good, so maybe he can continue that run good into tonight, because if you look at the GGPoker winnings up to this point, that 100K was was pretty big for him, but he's clearly someone who is playing decently because the fields are bigger. He's just playing the big editions. But hopefully after tonight, he'll sign up for a few more where he's like, hey, the high roller Super Million is pretty cool. And after I make final table, I've got a day and a half to recover to play the final table live on the Tuesday evening, or for him perhaps Tuesday afternoon, because he'll be in Canada. Let's take a look at one of the hands that MK Ultra had on his journey to his final table. Maybe that will tell us a little bit more about him. He's got a beautiful hand when it's all said and done. But what do you make of this hand before we got there, Nana?
No, I think it's pretty standard. Looks like he check called the flop with with top pair, 10 kicker, makes 2 pair. His opponent doesn't bet again, so you know he goes for the check raise on the river. I like the check raise on the river. I think you know, if his opponent, you know, maybe hit a flush, you get maximum value this way. If he has an ace, he's probably gonna bet for you anyway, so you're gonna get money from those hands too. But what that does by checking is, if you're gonna get value from the big hands anyways, you also allow yourself to get value from the hands that won't call a bet. So maybe Dietrich Fast here just wants to just randomly bet, you know, as a bluff, thinking if you had an ace, you would always just bet by now. So, you know, it's kind of win the best of both worlds by checking this hand on the river.
I'm always looking at this and I'm like, is there a way for him to win more chips in this hand? And I almost have the feeling the answer is no, right? Like if he leads out on the turn, it's just a bit too strong. Or...
Yeah, that's the thing. But maybe he did actually win more chips by checking that river card, because if he bet, maybe his opponent would just fold his air. So that's what you need to think about. Sometimes you don't get all of the stacks in every single time, but you need to choose the action that potentially wins you the most chips. And sometimes
no, but I was like even more besides that check raise on the river. No. Is there another way to win even more? But I think this was kind of it. Just well done by MK Ultra, and that makes us a little excited to see him play some more hands tonight at the final table. Obviously comes in as one of the shortest stacks, but hey, let's see what he can do. Next up, we've got our only Russian player making it to the final table of the 27th edition. The high roller Super Millions, Andrei Kotelnikov. Apparently has played quite a bit. He's known as Kot Spatek. Does that ring any bells for you, Nano?
Yeah, I've seen this screen name before. He is a grinder. He's sold 75% of 1.09 markup. Ami Bear bought 50% of it, and another guy bought 25%. So just sold to 2 guys. They know he's good. Yeah, he's a good player for sure, and you know, he probably doesn't always play 10K, so that's why he sells his action. But you know, there's 2 other guys who's sweating him real hard today.
I feel like Ami Barra is not the first time, right, that he bought a lot of action.
He probably knows all the regs, so like when he sees them get to the final, sees them get to this tournament and they're selling action, he just insta buys them up.
Ami having a side job. He's like, instead of making final tables myself, why don't I let other people do it for me? Well, let's take a look at one of the hands that Mr. Kotelnikov had on his journey to his very first final table. As now we've got King Jack battling it out with Ace Queen. Man, so this is why we don't have 2 Russians at the final table. No, I know this was kind of early in the tournament, but that's pretty brutal for Romashka.
Yeah, this is pretty rough. It looks like he actually jams the nuts here on the turn. Some guys would just call because, you know, you're not too scared, no flush draws out there. So if I was some of the other guys out there, might be a little bit worried when you're like, oh, well, who would ever jam the nuts on the turn? But this guy will, so we'll see. But he definitely got, if knowing his opponent's hand, of course you're going to jam because he's never folding top 2 pair.
Well, that means we have 1 player left to cover before we actually talk about some poker, and I know that's what the majority of you guys are here for. Next up is the short stack coming into this final table. Almost nobody believes in this man, but Elke does. Elke tweeted out that this is his go-to pick for final table betting. I don't know, Elke probably sees big odds and he's like, I'm going for it. 27.5 to 1 Veka. Now Veka has won not even $10,000 up to this point over at GGPoker, which, believe it or not, Nanonoko, is less than my earnings over at GG, okay? But he has made it to a final table, so he is crushing me and a whole bunch of other else out there. But yeah, looking at this, Veka is on the run of his life.
Yeah, I mean, look, we had to put the $33 deli special as one of his biggest cash, $1,299. So this guy, as wild card as it gets, he's only got 9.4 big ones. He's got the best odds though for you, right? 27.5. Did you put any money down on Veka?
No, I believe in a lot of people tonight, but no, I was like, this is a little too little. And also because, you know, this is already such a big score for him. This man is going to do whatever it takes to get 1 pay jump, maybe 2, if it's like truly written in the stars. But I don't really see him winning tonight. But I'd love to be wrong. That'd be one hell of a fairy tale. And the guys out there that did bet on him for that good old 28 to 1 payout, they're gonna have the time of their lives too. But I didn't see it happen tonight, Nano Neto.
Well, let's see. Did he play his hand history special at all?
Let's take a look at the hand that Veka had to help him on his way to his biggest score up to this point over at the GGPoker platform. King 10 offsuit. What do we make of it?
This is aggro. You know, a lot of guys, they turn that pair just like, okay, just take that free card. But I like it. Put the pressure on his opponent. You know, like, a lot of guys actually don't make this play of the pair in a straight draw. They just think they got some showdown value. But he can put a lot of pressure on, like, Queen Jack probably won't call a turn bad. You know, King Jack, Ace Rag might just fold the turn because there might be a river card. I think it's a nice play. And, you know, our short stack here, if he can run up a stack, he might have some moves.
Yeah, but this was when he actually had a somewhat decent stack, right? Looking around the table, obviously MK Ultra was running super hot up to this point, but the majority of people kind of had his side. So it's cool, but it's very different when you come into a final table with what I believe was like 4 big blinds, something among these lines. Well, that is going to do it for our pre-show. Let's take a look at the beautiful final table. I don't know if you've seen it, Nano, but I opened it in the lobby and I was like, my goodness, it looks sick. I love it. I thought the Battle of Malta graphics were nice, but this one looks even better. I feel like, I don't know about you, but I feel like this favors the Finnish and the Russian player, okay? You know, they are very familiar with snow, cold temperatures. This is their territory, their stomping ground.
Yeah, why? So why are we in the ice cold? Oh, it's a winter series. Okay, I'm just like, why do we set it in the snow? Yeah, this is really cool. Yeah, we do have very nice graphics here on the GG. But now it's time, Roddy. And you know what? You can have the first pick. Who do you think is going to win the Super Millions today? Over 600K up top.
Well, this is a calculated decision by me because I've put bets on obviously the European and the Russian and the other Finnish player and MK Ultra. And I was like, there is not a chance in hell that the chip leader wins this tournament 3 weeks in a row. So I'll just go for good old Mr. Gamble, Jay Anderson. I think that he could get it done today. And then if he does get it done, at least I get my second point on the board in our little competition that we have.
It seems a little counterintuitive, though. You put all this money on the European, but then you don't bet on him to win. You don't think he's going to win the tournament, but yet you put money down on him, Roddy. That's your downfall. That's why maybe your bets aren't paying off because, you know, your picks don't align with your bets.
I can see that, Nano, but you know what it is? If I win money, that's pretty good. But if I beat you in our picking contest, that means so much more to me than money. So in this way, I feel like I always win, unless Vika or Joaquin wins. But Joaquin can't win. The chip leader doesn't win 3 weeks in a row. So who do you pick, mate?
My pick is the chip leader, Malagno. This guy is going to win it 3 times in a row. But look, this guy is really fun to watch. All the Uruguayan players are really cool to see. They got their own style poker that just cannot be recreated. Solvers don't even understand how they play. Here we go today. I think he's going to win. He's got 12 million chips, and looks like nothing too crazy on the first hand. That's cool. And he's going to ship it today. I'm sorry. I know your bets. You're going to lose all your bets, and you're going to lose the one where you picked against it because it's all Malagno.
I'm so excited for this one, man. I've been looking forward to it all week long. I love our graphics. Again, it's just a beautiful looking final table. And I think we are in for one hell of a show. Prize pool is massive, of course, with the 511 entries we had. There's a 5 million guaranteed. And let's just see how the cards will fall. You guys can see the next payout always in the top left. And then you guys can also see in how many hands the blinds will go up again. As the first hand is already on the way as MK Ultra doesn't seem too intimidated by your pick so far, Nano.
I mean, this guy's got a small stack, defends the 8-7 offsuit, man. This is adventurous. You know, a lot of guys, we see him just fold this outright, right? And now he's got bottom pair on the 8-King-8 board. It kind of sucks, to be honest. The reason is he's playing 10 big blind stack, expected to reach. He actually folds the best hand here. And the reason is he knows that he would have reshoved a lot of ace X's pre-flop, so he's just capped at a king X at best. And he's just like, you know, I'm just done. And obviously the button, the chip is gonna open any ace, any king. And that's the problem. If you have to fold bottom pair like that, maybe you just gotta fold pre-flop. Who knows?
No, I'm with you. It's obviously very scary. You wait a day and a half to play this final table because, of course, this tournament gets laid down to the final 9 on the Sunday evening, at least for the European Sunday afternoon if you're in America. Yeah, if you're making a pair there, like it's not pretty, but what are we hoping for? We're hoping to flop the Stone Cold Nuts, good old 5-6-4 flop or something, 5-6-9. You can't really be praying for that. So I'm with you. Let's see how the next hand plays out as Mr. Gamble takes on one of the Finnish dudes. And Scary Man taking on a Finn at a frozen final table. I'd stay away from that if I were you, Mr. Gamble.
We know Mr. Gamble's gonna bet this one. He just puts a half pot size bet out there.
Wow, that's so big.
Yeah, and a lot of guys actually here at this final table might not know Mr. Gamble because Mr. Gamble's not he's only a big name in our Super Millions, right? But some of these regs, they don't really watch every single series they can. Oh my God, I think this is going to be an all-in shove for Mr. Gamble. And Ken, you want to call the top pair 9 kicker? It's going to be a tough spot.
I have the feeling that he's not folding though. Like if he does fold, he's one of the absolute shortest stacks at this final table. You flop top pair, like, yeah, is there a chance he's gonna overpair? Sure. You're not putting him on ace-8. Here we go. Mr. Gamble putting on the pressure with his king high flush draw. And Jorma does fold. Mr. Gamble off to a hot start. He's still second in chips, but that's a good one for him.
That's a very nice play there. Like, see, some of these guys, when you're too ICM aware, you just start making extra folds, and you let the guy get away with that that's a crime right there. Oh, MK Ultra, is he going to jam the ace king? I mean, ace jack. Sorry, into the ace king.
I think he might. If he doesn't, I do believe that Veka will. Even though I'm not sure about that, to be honest. I mean, we know he likes to ladder up. MK Ultra, maybe. No, he lets it go. Now, let's see what a short stack does. The man who came in 9 tonight. Mating, Mr. Gamble, 44% VPIP. This guy plays everything. Ace 10 could be good here. We know it's not good.
Wow, he folds. Okay, well, Veka's trying to ladder up. To be honest, I probably expected a call from almost everyone, but Veka's just, he's the guy trying to ladder up right now, right? He's in nice position. He's the one with the 26-1, but Ace King is gonna be an easy play for him.
Jorma lets it go. Man, the European may actually think that. I don't think he's gonna make the call, but quite often you might think that King 7 could be good here, right? A suited King 7.
He might call. It's 8 big blinds total. He doesn't know that Vika folded ace 10, obviously, the last hand. He does make the call.
The European at risk needs a 7 or a lot of spades. Doesn't get any help so far. Okay, turns an open-ender. 9-4 or a 7 for the European. He gives us the one time. The ace is no good. So the short stack, Elke's pick, doubles up. And this is bad news for all the European bettors out there as he now drops to 3.4 million.
Wow. Yeah, that was a play to win play though, I don't fault him. King 7 suited, usually the best hand. Vika is the guy trying to satellite in though, try to ladder up. And all of a sudden Vika, the guy with 26-1 or whatever it was, 27-1 is now in top 4 stack, and like everyone's thinking, oh my God, the $400 that were bet are looking real good.
Yes. I mean, last week we had a pretty fun run of the Brazilian short stack who came in as well. Like, well, that was something like 50-1, right? Because he really had no big blinds. He had like 2 big blinds entering the final table. That's a fun start, and at least we still have all 9 players. But for all those out there who put money in European, they're going to be a little shaken up. But you know what it is? You know that the European is a grinder as well. So it's not that now he all of a sudden loses his cool and he starts playing wild. Like, he still has what is that, 12, 13 bigs? Well, it's not much to be honest.
He might get a double up here if Jorma jams 2 5s and he decides to go up to 2 8s and 1 5 is dead. You can see Vika's got an 8 and a 5 in his hand. The European back? He can be back right here.
Well, Mr. Gamble also has an 8 though, so we're not flopping any sets. That's for sure. Fives will indeed go for it. 10 big blind shove for the pocket 5s. Maybe a little Finland against Finland violence over here. I mean, the Europeans got to be thinking as well, though. Like, imagine if you're going up against 2 overs or somehow he's got pocket 9s, pocket 10s. You're totally bamboozled, Nano.
Come
Like,
on, he's crushing Yorma right now. This is his chance to shine and come back, right? Is he playing for the win, or is he going to play the ICM star and make a very tight fold here? This hand says it all. He just folded 2 8s. European bettors are on tilt. I'm telling you that, and you're one of them. What are you
no, I'm
feeling?
not on. No, I'm not on tilt yet at all. Like, I completely understand the fold, even if it's the wrong fold. Like, imagine you enter a final table, you came in with a good stack, you already lose one big pot. Do you really want to risk it pretty much all on pocket eights, and you're calling off with pocket eights as well? I get it. Like, I don't hate. Obviously, I would have loved to see him call, but I'm happy to keep Yorma around, and I believe that better spots will come for the European.
He's only got 12 to 13 big blinds. He can weigh all he wants. Oh, I know some other people are probably a little salty. Maybe you're keeping your positive vibes there, but we'll see, because that was a big fold there of 2 8s. Maybe it's correct, but like, that's one of the things you did ask me. You said, is he potentially not have the best chance of winning because of his style? Maybe that hand kind of just sums it up. Basically, what we're talking about.
It is a bad start. I'll give you that much, but I'm still not too concerned. I mean, when the blinds are this big, there's a lot of money in the center every single round. Look at Vega. He's going to open it up with ace jack suited. Tasmania 888 has been quiet so far, but he's sitting on pocket nines. I would like to see him put in a proper 3-bet here, because Vega is not likely to call it all off. We know that this man likes to ladder. Obviously, like, they can click on the profiles too. They can see how well he's done up to this point. Tasmania should know that if he 3-bets here, he's not going to get called by anything other than aces, kings, or queens, or maybe an ace king suited.
I like to see a 3-bet too. Like, by calling, you give yourself a chance to lose a pot. Very often you'll just win it outright pre-flop, and that's what he's going to do. Tasmania knows what's up. I like it. Some guys might
love
just
it.
call, try to see a flop, but you just let yourself lose too often.
I love the 3-bet. I would have liked it maybe a tiny bit bigger, but I think the sizing is still pretty good. We've gone for
I think it's
1.5.
fine. Because the stack sizes are so shallow, he can get away with these smaller 3-bets. Because Vika, to start this hand, had only like 16 or 17 big blinds, so it does the same damage. Vika is really not just gonna call some 3-bet here.
I didn't realize, Nano, but I was wrong. I apparently put $11 on Vika. I didn't even see
That-
it.
That's very funny. That's where all your money's at. It's not the European today. It's all about Vika.
No. The European payout is the biggest. That's what I do know. We'll see. I have pocket sevens against ace queen. We have Kotel Nikov sitting on ace queen suited on the big blind. If the European gets it all in here, I do believe the Russian calls, right?
Yes, for sure. The European's got to. He's going to jam, or is he going to fold? Well, again, this is one of those. Oh, he does make a big laydown, 12 big blinds with the 2 7s. This is the ICM poker we were talking about.
Yep. But I also don't hate this fold. I still think there's time, Nano. There is time. And the European doesn't want to go out in 9th place. He came in as 5th tonight. We do have Kotel Nikov shoving the ace-queen suited as we expected. And Mr. Gamble gives us a WTF. 1.7 million more for a 4.8 million chip pot. But he lets it go.
Yep. I like that Mr. Gamble is just putting in raises, though. Like, these guys are just trying to fold their way for these big pay jumps. Over to our chip leader. Does he play Queen Deuce offsuit? I don't know the answer to that one.
I don't think he will.
But he's from Uruguay, so he might.
And if he does open it, will Kotel Nikov get it all in with his set of 4s over here, Nano?
I think he folds, to be honest. But
who folds his set pre-flop, Nano? Come on.
Look, he does open the Queen Deuce offsuit. I like it. But he's showing you why I picked him. Like, he's aggressive. 2 forcers has a lot of fold equity. I guess the problem is MK Ultra too short? Is it too risky? Because pay jumps, they're gonna be bigger than normal.
I don't know why you say pocket fours, like, or a pair of fours. Like, he's got a set. This man is about to flop a set. Everyone knows it. Everyone that watches the High Roller Super Million knows it. This man has probably studied. Oh, he
He's
lets
out.
go of the pocket fours. Ay, ay, ay. What will MK Ultra do here? Would you, like,
Of
can you
course,
call? Oh
you-
my God, he calls. What a flop. What a flop.
That's a full double. I mean, because not only does he flop trips, his opponent flops top pair, which is the dream scenario. Because maybe he only picks up one big blind. This is as good as it gets. I mean, when you're the shortest stack in general, you're going to defend that big blind more, and it's just a dream.
Well, that's a very easy one for MK Ultra. Kota Nikov is like, so you opened queen deuce. So, well, there is no deuce too, but that doesn't really change anything. We need a queen and a queen only. There is paint. It is not a queen because that's so hard. So there must be a jack. And it is a jack. And that means the full double up for MK Ultra. And the Nano Noko curse is in full force.
Well, I'm glad he lost to the guy that was super short. Malagno actually probably has the same chips that he started the FT with, right? So it's all right. It's all about Vika. Vika's the one with the chips now. Anderson, Jack 9 suited. I like it.
Well, let's see what Tasmania does. We love the 3-bet he put in with the 9s. He lets the ace jack offsuit go. Your pick. Malagno with pocket threes makes the call.
He's gonna win it somehow. I don't know why. But he's up against Mr. Anderson, Mr. Gamble. So maybe, and they're both aggressive. I think Malagno picked a good seat though. He made sure he got position on Anderson.
Mr. Gamble doesn't flop a whole lot. Picks up a gut shot, but there are no diamonds. Just one diamond would have made this flop so much better.
Yeah, I don't mind him just throwing out like 33% pot bet. With these stack sizes, Malagno will defend, try to flop a set, and those hands really can't continue. Looks like he does go for a check. So this will get interesting. If someone wants to throw out a bet, they probably will win it. But it's hard to bet with 2 3s here too. But Malagno, he's creative, and he's going to fire out a bet here. Is Anderson going to call with Jack 9? No backdoor flush draw? Does have a draw to a nut hand, though.
All right. Mr. Gamble, show him who's in charge of this final table. Check raise the chip leader. Makes the call. Turns the 9. Let's go. Second pair. And now I do not believe that your pick will bet again. Mr. Gamble goes for the check, but there's no way you bet here again, right? With pocket threes. You don't dare to do that.
Very, very hard to bet because you don't know what you're up against too. Some guys would just check the queen on the flop because you're both big stacks, play cautiously. Anderson could have 8 9, like pocket 9s. Like you just are playing a pure guessing game right now if you were to bet again. And and your opponent's going to continue again on the turn a lot. Why another bet from Malagno? Wow, I'm telling you, this guy's crazy. He's betting 20% pot here.
What kind of a bet is that, though? Like, there's no way that Mr. Anderson is folding. Like, that's just not going to happen.
I don't want any of these two guys to lose a lot of chips, but I feel like they're just going to play heads up with 9 people around throughout this whole final table. These guys are just... It's another call here. Anderson, his price was just too good to fold. I feel like when you bet to 2 3s that way, you're going to fire one more. Right? Like, otherwise, why did you bet 20% on the turn on such a connected board where you almost always get called on the turn?
Well, I do feel like if he wants to take this one down, he's going to have to bet big. Right? Like, we're going to have to bet at least 1-5 to somehow get him to fold.
I think he could. Well, he is going to give. Wow. So that part was weird. But you know what? Anderson's like, thank you for the free chips because he's our new chip leader.
Yep, we've got a new chip leader in town. Mr. Gamble takes the lead. Now wakes up with ace 9 offsuit under the gun +1, and he opens. Okay, I
like it.
Yorma,
I don't think.
Come on, we got to shove the 6s. Come on, against Mr. Anderson, he opens every hand. 42% VPIP. Come on, Nano.
Look, Yorba folded top pair against Mr. Anderson earlier. You think he's gonna go 2 6s all of a sudden? I don't think so. I think 8-4 is also. This is the dream scenario. Maybe you pick a winner today, Mr. Gamble, but you didn't put money on Mr. Gamble. But right now
Bragging
he's
rights
playing.
mean more to me, Nano. Bragging rights mean more to me.
He's playing the style though, right? To ship these tournament.
Yeah.
Really, all the chips he's won so far has really just been pure muscle poker. I don't think he's got like some coolers out there.
See what MK Ultra does here with his King 9 suited on the cutoff.
Nah, you gotta fold that, man. That's some adventurous stuff if he gets involved here.
Yeah.
European 6-2 suited. It's connected, but I don't think he's gonna defend. Too much pressure.
Look at Tasmania though, just kind of casually taking one down with a Jack 9 suited under the gun +1. Those gotta feel real good. You're so happy when you get those ones through. Seems like your guy, Malogno, our previous chip leader, actually got a real hand for the first time, I feel. The ace queen offsuit.
I think him and Mr. Like I said, I think him and Mr. Gamble are just gonna play with each other while all these nits try to outladder each other. This is gonna be a good final table because that last hand we saw between those two guys with two weak hands was already a huge pot. Queen 4 suited. I can't imagine him folding this.
No, I tell you, like, I can't imagine him calling. I'll be like, well, one little big blind, suited queen. You always told me that if it's close, but it's suited, you got to call. So he makes the call. Doesn't flop a whole lot, though.
Yeah, Malogno. Let's see. I mean, I don't actually know much about his style. I just know he just has the most interesting lines. He strikes me as a guy who might bet or check. He is going to fire out a bet and ship this pot.
20 minutes in live poker. We haven't lost a player yet. Now we have our Brazilian who's been somewhat quiet up to this point. He's going to open it up at ace king suited. Let's see how crazy our Uruguayan truly is. He's just going to 3-bet the king queen here against. You can't do that, right? Against the under the gun open. That's just.
Yeah, he's from Uruguay, so yes, you can. To be fair, this is a good hand to do it. King Queen blocks all the hands like Will would want to get in.
Oh.
Like ace, base snap. You saw Rogers
how
like
quick that was. Like, yeah, that's a body shove. If I've ever seen one, it's like, all right, mate, if you want to get it in, let's get it in. And he gives him the nice play. Oh, we've got banter over here, Nano.
Yeah, but it's the right hand to use as a bluff. King Queen, you block the ace, kings, the queens, the kings. But sometimes they do pick it up. But to be fair, if Roger had a hand like 2 9s, I think they're going in the muck because of how many short stacks are still out there. And but the thing is, I guess the question is, how wide is he actually opening from under gun with 20 big blinds? I don't know the answer to that. If he's making some hero folds with some hands that might normally open, then maybe the king queen 3-bet doesn't have as much of effectiveness.
Well, it's been a very exciting first 22 minutes so far of this 27th edition. The High Roller Super Millions final table. Chips have definitely been thrown around. The European, one of the betting favorites, has been having a tough time so far, but still has 10 big blinds to work with. And we'll see how far he goes. MK Ultra is wondering if he should open.
It looks strong for him to open this from this position. It looks very strong, so he's going to get a lot of credit. Other guys might just fold this, but I think it's fine. If people are, you kind of want to test the waters. If you get 3-bet instantly this hand, then I just play like a big nit, but if you're going to get away with some min raises here with this stack size, why not? It just looks insanely strong. Well done.
Next round, as we still have all players. Nobody really has a whole lot this round. So I think if it gets folded all the way up to Tasmania, I think he could open. But looking at Mr. Anderson, 8-5 suited. It's one of my favorite hands in the Noko. It's my birthday. Mr. Anderson's got to open that.
And it's also the year I was born. And yeah, he's going to raise that one up. I'm not surprised. He's playing great. I think Anderson's playing the best so far at this final table. And he's kind of also one of the few guys playing hands, but he's playing them really well.
Yeah, but he's playing a wild style. We've seen this before, though, like where people are chipping up, up, and then all of a sudden they lose a 4 million chip pot, and they lose a 3 million chip pot, and you're suddenly one of the shortest stacks at the final table. But I'm with you. So far, everything is looking great for Mr. Gamble, a previous champion. We still have nobody winning it twice, right? Only Mike Adamo has won it more than once.
Correct, and Anderson has put himself in position, but just Michael Adamo has won it 3 times. Did you put money on Yorma, the Finnish guy?
Yes.
Because he just folded ace jack offsuit under the gun, and I don't know. That's also one of those picks where maybe he understands ICM too much, and he's not a good pick to win it. I tell you, got to go for the adventurous guys.
We'll see, Nanonoko. You always think it's over before it's truly over. I'm still not worried. I've got a great feeling. We have a little action on Kotelnikov, on Roger, on the European, on Yorma. It's going to be fine, Nana.
Hey, okay. I guess the question is, which one of your picks is going to bust in 9th place? Because, look at these stacks of these guys. The 2 Finnish guys got 10 big blinds. The Russian guys got 10 big blinds. Vika's got 10 big blinds. All of your picks, one of them got a bust.
Well, this says going to be a... do you think he gets any action? No, the ace-10 will probably not pay it off. And I guess it's a little too loose for King Jack, right? If we're folding ace jack under the gun, we're not calling it off with King Jack.
There's no chance in hell Yorma's ever. He had to misclick call for him to put those chips in. Wow. Okay, so European, he did find a spot to pick up back to 3 million chips. It's got to feel a little bit better. But look at the graphic under my webcam. $23,000 total money. 214 bettors on the European. And he's the bottom stack right now.
Well, Kotelnikov, a lot of action went in on him as well. 111 people out there placed a little bet on the Russian. This is going to get it in with ace-4 suited. He likes to show his aces. This is the second time. I mean, earlier his kicker was great. This time, not so much. We've got our short stack? Question mark? Okay. No. This could be it, right? Ace-4 against pocket eights?
100%. I think Yorma is going to feel obligated to shove because he's only got 8 big blinds. He's on the button. The 2 blinds really aren't going to call off too light too. And I think Vika needs to go with these 2 8s. Otherwise, he shouldn't be playing this game. Come on, Vika. Call these 2 8s.
You're right, but it's still easier said than done. If this is the biggest spot of your career, it's still a tough call. Like, I know that you're right. He should call, and he does make the call. Well done. Yeah, let's not forget that this is by far and away his biggest score over a GG. 8s are getting it in great. There is 1-4, though. You know what they say? Oh, never mind. That's it. It's all over. Yorma is going to be the first player to be eliminated tonight. And the original short stack, Vika, gets the full double pretty much. Well, had a little left behind, but we're down to 8 now, no?
Yeah, the $2,000 in bets on Yorma gone. That's the thing. You know what sucks is sometimes you make some tight folds, right? And then, you still bust first. And then you start to look back like, man, should I have called with that top pair against Mr. Anderson? He folded the best hand. There's other spots. He lost some spots. And that's what you think about. Because, like, usually when you make some tight folds, you're like, okay, can I at least get 1 page up and feel okay about it? But when you still bust out first, it doesn't feel good. But he is kind of sucks
for the European. This is the second time he picks up a big hand. First pocket checks, no action. Now ace queen offsuit, small blind against big blind. Doesn't get any extra action. So this doesn't really help him. But we know that the European is totally fine. It's kind of being very yes now. He's not in a rush. Nobody can win the tournament right here, right now. So who gives a damn?
Someone could win it technically, but
no.
He's just hanging in there. He's only got 12 big blinds. I know you got a lot of money on the line on him, and it's a nice payout if you do win it. But the truth is he's not looking too hot. But maybe he can get a little lucky soon.
I am not worried in the slightest. Okay, I believe in my grinders. Yorma, of course, does walk away with $140,000, as you guys can see on the left side. Next payout is $170,000. As we have 2 garbage hands duking it out with each other. The Jack 9 in the big blind's obviously not too bad. Jack deuce offsuit. I mean, Nano, are we stretching here for Mr. Gamble, or is this the stuff you love to see?
If he's gonna get free flops, then it's fine. And I think because he's got a bigger stack, he's been open a lot. Yeah, I think it's fine. Oh, okay. Who cares about that? It's two
Uh-oh.
queens. Roger Scruton's got two tens. And if he
This is bad.
reships this hand, he's out.
Yep. And he already shipped on Malogno before. Let's not forget about that. And then he
Yes.
gave him the nice play. Oh, I really hope he just calls. I mean,
I don't
Roger.
I think the two tens probably should ship it, especially when you've seen a guy 3-bet undergun +1 versus your undergun and folded. That means your two
Oh,
ten. Yeah, he's done and dusted.
here we go. Well, if Nano says that, we're going to see a 10, right? That's how this works. So far, there is no 10. Roger needs a 10 or he will be bamboozled and go out in 8th place. Do we have pips? Nope, it's an ace. That means that the queens of the man who came in as chip leader will hold, as he is now back to being the chip leader of this final table. And Roger is out in 8th place. That's a
gotta feel.
very unfortunate setup for Roger.
Yeah, it feels bad too because it's like, oh, you've seen this guy 3-bet bluff you in the most early positions possible. You're like, how? If he's doing those moves, that means opening loose. He's got a big stack too. Like, you can't fault the two tens for just going for it. Okay, European just opening the queen 10 in middle position. This looks strong as hell, and he knows his image. He knows his stack sizes, so he knows he can get away with these moves here and there. Can Malogno read into it with the ace-8 and make a rejam on him? He doesn't. But we've seen some guys do these plays and read into these moves here and there. But looks like it just looked insanely strong.
That is a big pickup for the European. Just winning the small blind, big blind, and the antes increases his stack by quite a bit. He's now up to 3.7 million. Our chip leader once again wakes up actually with a proper hand. He's like, I can't even be bothered with you guys, and he's just putting it all in these tiny stacks. Get out of here! I'm sitting on 14 mil. Make it 15 as he takes this one down as well. Everybody that bet on the chip leader is feeling pretty good at this point.
Yeah, actually, both Malogno and Mr. Gamble, they're doing great. They both increased their stack by a good amount, like 30%. Malogno going for the limp with the queen 10. This guy's known to do a lot of limping. So like, this is fun to see. It's getting me a little excited. Like, he's just got some moves.
I bet everybody's a bit confused. Even Kotelnikov gave us the so confused emoji. Nobody really flops anything here. MK Ultra's got a backdoor or flush draw and a gut shot. Veka has a gut shot. And Malogno's got queen high and a backdoor straight draw. Nobody really has anything, Nana.
I think Malogno probably will bet because everyone's so shallow. If they had a good ace, they would have just jammed it pre-flop. So I think even if someone has a 7 or a 6, they might just fold this flop. Malogno knows that, and this should get it done. Yeah. So you pretty much risked the minimum, and still won the pot.
Absolutely. Limp pre-flop and then a very tiny bet on the flop is enough to get it done. MK Ultra is going to get it all in here with the pocket tens, but nobody's going to give him any action. Veka can't really do anything, and the European can't do anything either. The blinds are big, man. Like they have been playing for a long time on Sunday evening. Obviously, we had a bigger field, so it makes sense that the blinds are a bit higher than we normally see it, but a couple short stacks.
And it's just the short stacks, chilling, out laddering each other. So what it is just the big stacks just picking up chips. We haven't given Tasmania much love, but I actually think he's playing pretty good too. He hasn't got involved in many hands, but he's won every single pot he has been involved in, and he hasn't had like he's just kind of been bluffing a little bit spots here and there. So yeah, those top 3 guys up there are really. It's funny though, Vika I feel like has doubled twice, but he's not. He's in 4th, but not like a clear 4th place.
No, he really was one of the biggest short stacks. As we have a couple of decent looking hands.
10-8 offsuits the whole racing.
This is a great spot for the year. This time I do feel the Europeans should go for it. Earlier I didn't mind that much, But against the chip leader, you know that he's opening wide. Now I'd love to see the European go for it. Not just because eights obviously do great against 10-8. I feel a bit better about this one than one of the shortest stacks. And here we go. The European makes the move with the pocket eights. And Malagno's like, well, old man caught speeding.
Yeah, the European in this spot though, it's good because you get to rejam on someone
Wow.
and you have fold equity. When someone opens chips say 2.5 million, you're forced to see a showdown. Of course, I think was in the previous spot where he didn't go up the hand. So whenever you get the fold equity, that goes way up in value in rejamming on people.
Well, Vega should fold here. What do you think the European does with the a6 suited?
I think he might min raise this unless he thinks the three big stacks are just going to put too much pressure on him.
I think it's
think
all
he'll
in or
open.
Okay.
No, I don't think it's all in. It's definitely too risky to go all in. I'll tell you 100%. But Malagno should be probably defending the 10-6 offsuit.
Well, more good news heading in way of the European as he makes top pair. And Malagno really doesn't have much going other than a couple backdoors. Spades are live and there is a backdoor straight draw available, but weird things have to happen for the European to lose this hand, as it is time for one more free roll. I believe the password is super. So just open the GG client, find the free roll section. Password is super. Let me just double check that, but I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, it is. So good luck if you're playing tonight, guys. Starts in 10 minutes. So you've got 10 minutes to open the client and find the free roll.
Malagno is like, man, he's been using a lot of time bank. You can see his wheels are spinning. He's like, man, I really want to make all these moves, but he's been calm and tame. So
Right.
I think it's the right play. King Queen.
Do we ship this? If we are MK Ultra, King Queen suited under the gun, yeah.
Yeah. Yes. And the reason I'm shipping it too is not only is it a good hand, but some people might opt to min raise, but you don't want to let the shortest stack see a free flop and then maybe you lose the pot. With King Queen, you rather just shut out his 9-8 suited, Jack 10s and stuff like this, because the short stack has a lot of incentive to see a flop if he's given the opportunity to.
Well, Vega's got 14 big blinds, I believe, and he's got King Jack offsuit under the gun. He's going to let it go. Mr. Anderson, Mr. Gamble wakes up at ace king, and he's just going to take this one down. Because MK Ultra will not get out of line with a 3 offsuit. And if he does, something's wrong with him, and we got to call the emergency services. Like our man MK Ultra's in trouble. He just rejammed a 3 offsuit. Ooh, this could be a great moment, though. If Mr. Anderson opens again, this time I do believe that MK Ultra will fully send it. But first, okay, Kotelnikov lets it go. MK Ultra won't let this go, right, Nano? We're jamming this.
Sure. You always want to jam on the chip leader type people because they're opening looser. You got the fold equity against them. I almost want to say it's like free chips, It's like just take them. Because some people they play like little nits, right? And they fold like some pocket pairs that could have easily took down the pot, And obviously ace jack suited, it's the easier jam. And I like it.
Mr. Anderson taking a few more seconds there. Kotelnikov letting the table know that he let go of an ace, but it was a weak ace. Joaquin Malagno, your pick, the original chip leader, wakes up with kings. I don't believe he's going to get any action here unless he plays it in a very tricky way.
He might limp, but European might defend 4-3 suited. It's a very defendable hand. He's got 17 big blinds, which is quite a bit, actually. I wouldn't be surprised it defends actually the 4-3 suited. But he does let it go, which is fine. I think he's also letting go maybe because the short stacks mainly. But I think if it was not the final table, he definitely would have been defending.
Yeah, I believe you. So we're still with 7. Next payout is 205,000, as you guys can see in the top left. I like the way that Kotelnikov is playing. It's like I don't make big decisions. It's all in pre-flop or fold. And I can get behind this Nano. Doesn't have a lot of big blinds. He's making the correct move so far.
Mr. Gamble, Queen 10 suited. Maybe he feels like gambling. He just throws it in. I just like, oh, it's only 7 big blinds. I mean,
it's wild.
I probably would fold because I feel like he's in a good position with his stack size right now. But you can see that he really wanted to.
Yep. And I can't blame him for wanting to, because you're also like, if I'm wrong, I'm still big. Kotelnikov wakes up with kings, as I think Malogna will probably open his king 8 suited under the gun. He's been opening a lot worse than that, I believe. So, well, let's go. 3 chips for the Russian. Kotelnikov. He's the sleeper pick of this final table, Nano.
Well, all the short stacks they've been getting reshoves in correctly, and they haven't gotten a chance to double though, right? Like, so all European, they just keep picking a couple big blinds up. They really want the other guy to just get cooler the hell out of, like they got like ace queen, they just have to call it off.
Malogna is wasting some time bank again. I can't imagine him calling here. He knows that he's probably in some trouble, and even in more trouble than he probably expected to be.
I think Malogna, oh my god, he's in some trouble here. But the good news, I don't know if it's good news, because he might just reship this on Tasmania, because Tasmania, King Queen's a good hand to reship. Malogna might be losing a lot of chips here. Oh no, this is.
You think it's gonna be that bad?
It could be. Okay, well, it's a limp. So actually, the limp actually, it's a good thing for Malogna, I think. It's probably just gonna go raise jam. Okay, wow, he checks. This is very safe. Very safe from everyone. I think Tasmania was definitely going for the limp jam. I like the opportunity too, because I would expect Malogna to have raised, but I guess he sniffed it out.
Where's that king when you wanted the most, Nanonoko? Wouldn't the king have been so juicy? Instead, it's a 4 of hearts on the turn. That doesn't really change anything. I mean, Tasmania probably still feels like there's a good chance his hand is good, but now he's also like, he probably picked up a little pair somewhere. It goes check, check again. Board pairs on the river doesn't change anything. Yeah. The rest of the table is going to be so surprised when they see these hands go off against each other. Like, what?
Yeah,
this is actually a pretty crazy.
This is as small as a pot as possible. Somehow, no chips win in.
Yep.
But look now, it's ace jack and ace king. It's the same 2 guys.
I mean, Malogna is probably now as well. It's like, you limped ace king from the small blind. You're really afraid to play a big pot. But I think you're right. I think he was hoping for the limp jam. Now, this time I do assume that Tasmania will raise it up. Probably 615, 620 like we've seen before. Now, let's see what Malogna does. No, it just goes for the 2x, nothing else. You 3-bet here, right? Normally with ace jack.
I think it's the standard is the 3-bet. Just 3-bet fold. I feel like it's coming. And he's going to get shipped on by Tasmania. Oh, he just calls. Okay. Which is reasonable too. Yeah, I think both plays are fine. I'm not too sure what's better. Regardless, they both flop. It just seems like Malogna has opportunities to lose more chips in this hand and the last hand, but it seems like he's getting a little saved. Maybe Malogna wins it if he decides to bet the turn, though. It is also a little hard to bet. I'm not too sure what's going to happen.
I'm very surprised about the way that these last 2 hands have played out so far now, Narco. That's not the stuff we normally see at these final tables. I can get it a little bit from Tasmania. You don't want to play an ultra big pot if it's unnecessary. And, ace king is great, but you still need to flop something in general. Just goes check, 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 check again.
Yeah, it's checking down. They're both trying to get down to the river of ASI, and it's going to be Tasmania picking up kind of the minimum again, but he did nothing wrong in both of these hands, I imagine. Yeah. I'll tell you, wasting the one big blind.
I think we call this, right, with ace king. We
think so. I think the price is a little bit too good. You got the nut cards.
The nothing is good enough here for Tasmania as he picks it up. Malogna like ace king again. It's like, yeah, that's what it was.
I was gonna say, Malogna, he probably hasn't final table a tournament on GG, right? He hasn't played the Supremes, so maybe he doesn't know how the time bank works as well as some of the others, because we do see him wasting a couple seconds here and there. Nice play from the all in or fold guy.
Yeah, that is a great game, by the way, to play. Did you ever see my clip on Twitter? I hit a little straight flush jackpot playing all in or fold.
Oh no, I did not. That's cool. Okay, is it like the little? How much do you get? Do you remember?
I think it was the $32 all in or fold. So I think the blinds were 2-4, maybe. I forgot the details exactly, but I got $2,700 for hitting my straight
Oh,
flush.
okay,
Yeah.
that's pretty nice.
I
You
was
you
pretty
were
happy.
loving
I
that
was
one.
like, oh my God. I was like, because it keeps going up. And I was like, I wasn't sure if the jackpot played for straight flush or if it was just royal, because there are certain limits. And then there's the pot limit Omar version as well, all in or fold. I was like, straight flush. I was like, do I get a jackpot? Do I get a jackpot? It's like ding, and it keeps on spinning. You're like, oh my God. Jackpot futures are great.
I played that all in or fold a long time ago. I was streaming some tournaments on GG, and then, like, it was like the most fun thing ever. I was playing 510, so like I think it was
Oh,
like $80 a pop,
you
and then like
did.
yeah, and then I was like busting this guy's row, and it was just the most fun. I'm sure there's someone in the chat that knows that watched that. It was like the most hilarious thing. I was just like going with these superstitious reads and stuff like this
Yeah.
too, and everyone was just cracking up.
Yeah, it's very cool. If you play 100 hands of all in or fold of a specific limit, you get one buy-in for free. So it's very tempting to play like, just 100 hands. I've actually been running pretty good in all in or fold, better than I've been running on the regular tables.
That's your
Which,
game. That's your
yeah,
game. Can't make
that's
any
what
mistakes.
that's what everybody else said. They're like, Roddy, I think your true calling is all in or fold. I was like, great. You guys are just telling me I'm bad right now. Yeah, I hope you guys know that. Wow, look at
Ooh.
this one. Mr. Anderson flopping trip fours. I know it's not a set Nananoka, but I just want to point out that those fours, they do appear.
Yeah, Malagno actually limped the ace jack suited, got punished because 8-4 probably wouldn't have defended. And
Oh,
what does
we just
Anderson
call
do?
here,
Check
right?
call? I'm not
Min race.
sure.
What about a min race?
Yeah, he does call. I like it.
Yeah.
I guess if Malagno's just betting random high card hands, he should be just calling. Let his opponent try to catch up.
You know what I love is that Kotelnikov has been all in like 17 times, and he like just barely doubled up. It's pretty sick. Wow. This time it's a bigger back. Almost 3 big blinds being sent into the middle by Malogno. And Mr. Anderson is loving everything about this. You're always still a little bit worried, right? When you're battling it out with the other guy who is massive. You're worried about those 6
Yeah.
setups, the coolest, but you're feeling pretty good.
Yeah, you got to just call though, just in case your opponent does have a flush. You don't want to bust, you know.
Yep.
But yeah, he's obviously 1p40 in Riverbed. Malagno trying to sell some story that just isn't gonna work. His limping game it lets people see fluffs and hit things that wouldn't normally play. But
I have
Malagno's
the feeling
thinking,
he's gonna. I have the
yeah,
feeling
he
he's gonna
wants to
do
fire,
something
right?
sick. Yeah, like he should. Oh, okay, well, that's an easy call. Snap call for Mr. Anderson as he makes the call and he catches Malogna with his hand in the cookie jar. That is a big pot heading Mr. Gamble's way as he chips up to 14 million. And we've got a new captain in town.
Yeah, Mr. Gamble, he could be our second guy to win the Super Millions twice. No one has done it yet. We've had many guys having the opportunity to win it again. But right now, Anderson, Mr. Gamble is playing the best, in my opinion. He's got all the chips. He really is in prime position to get it done today.
I almost feel like it's unfortunate for. Uh-oh. Oh. The European could be in a bit of trouble here. I wonder what maybe Vecca can save the European?
I think Vecca will jam. Okay, never mind. I was gonna say, like, it seemed like Vecca was gonna go busto. Malagno likes to donk off some chips and then win it back with an all in. You know what I mean? But here it looks like should probably be a rejam and fold.
Okay.
Vecca, I tell you though, just 2 6s. I wouldn't surprise me if it was a shove in his position, and given the stack sizes all around the table, and he could easily have been out of this tournament just right now.
Vecca is going to be very happy to see that he folded the 6s after an opening from the European. Basically a jam from Malogno there. Will make him feel very good about his fold. MK Ultra with his ace-10 offsuit under the gun. Could have been worse for the European. Obviously, it sucks to lose to 2 big blinds when you're only having 13 to 14, but I feel like that could have been a bit worse. MK Ultra will just open and take it down. Kotelnikov is his hands are itching at this point. I need to all in again. It's time.
See, so Anderson gonna pick up some chill. I don't know. MK Ultra's got a hand he could defend if he wants to. He did defend 9-8 offsuit earlier, so King 9 is definitely reasonable.
Who's on the European's avatar? He's like a tennis player or something.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask earlier when but I have no idea. Soccer?
I'm tempted to open the client, but I don't want to do that because then I would get information about like where they are in the tourney, and I don't want that. Like,
yeah, don't do that.
From my pixel feed, I would say it's Djokovic, but I could be very wrong. Maybe somebody.
I don't think it's Djokovic.
No?
I really don't think it is.
Okay, I think you're probably right, but that would be my guess. It's a bit pixelated for me, so it's hard to make a proper guess, but it gives me a tennis vibe.
I'm not sure. It does give you a tennis vibe, but you're not sure either, right? Like,
no.
It could be many different sports as well.
Yeah.
No idea.
Maybe somebody in the chat can let us know. Look at this. Malogno picking up the pocket kings. I think Kotelnikov is maybe getting safe there. We know that he likes to rejam on a Malogno open. He's obviously not going to rejam this one if Malogno calls or 3-bets himself.
Oh, look at this. This is sneaky from Malogno 2 kings. I like it though. You know what? He defended the 2-3s earlier. So Anderson's not gonna just pick this up as a big hand. You know, he's gonna be like, oh, this guy's just got some little pocket pairs and stuff, and there's a lot of pressure coming up.
Would you have thrown in the 1 big blind with the 5?
Come on, no. We're trying to get pay jumps. You don't get pay jumps by seeing flops. I'll tell you that.
Okay.
Let's see.
This is actually kind of annoying though if you're Malogno, because you know when you have kings, there's always an ace on the flop. And Mr. Anderson just keeps betting immediately. You don't fold kings here ever, but you don't love it. And now Anderson, after he had a gut shot, now has a pair and a gut shot. He may just bet again, Nano.
He may. He might also check too. It's a tricky spot because if he bets, he's trying to bluff like 10x. But if he checks, he could still be ahead against all the Broadways. They would probably fire the turn. It's just that's what happens when you play weak hands in early positions. It happens, and there's no way the 9 is good. I guess the question is, Anderson think he can move his opponent off of anything? Maybe, but it's hard to tell if his opponent has an ace, a 10, or a queen. Okay. You know, it's too tricky.
He's got a great bluff hand though, right? Because he's got 1 club, he's got an 8. This is where you make it 4.6 million. The overbet on the river. Let's go.
You know what's funny? The whole table's probably, every time they see Malogno show down some hands, they're just like, my God, he's got kings, he's got queen deuce offsuit, he's got ace jack. Like, it's hard to predict. But you know, what I can't predict correctly, I think Vika's going to throw these 2 4s in the muck.
Well, I would predict that too. Even though maybe he's a fan of this show and he's like, Roddy did tell us that the pocket 4s do always flop a set. I know that you are out there on other poker shows discrediting my logic. You know, like I do the high roller super minutes with this guy called Rotterdam. He says the 4s always flop a set. They never flop a set. I've heard it, Nano. Those words hurt me, okay? I've got feelings.
We haven't seen it. We haven't seen it, Roddy. We literally haven't seen it. You've telling me these stories and they just never happen. It's just a true statement. We've been here for half a year. We still haven't seen it happen.
You should watch my stream a little more often, mate. Like, I can't play the Beat the Pros at the moment, which makes me really sad. If you guys are unfamiliar with the Beat the Pros, a $210 bounty event. It takes place every Saturday at 6 p.m. Central European time, so noon on the East Coast, 9 a.m. on the West Coast. It's a really fun tournament. It has a lot of the GG Pros playing in it, a lot of influencers and streamers. I haven't been able to play it the last 2 weeks because I've been busy casting StarCraft over the weekends. But last time I did play Nanonoko, got busted by pocket fours. Ace king versus pocket fours, flopped an ace. It's all good. Turn a 4. I was like, damn it, where's Nanonoko now? Telling me the 4 is never flop set.
Well, he turned the set. Just telling
Yeah, he just flopped it in the end. Who cares? I was pissed.
All right, let's see. Right now, it's been very grindy, but I told you earlier, it's just Mr. Anderson and Malagno playing pots of each other throughout this, while everyone slowly grinds each other out. Another hand where I expect them to see a flop. Malagno does have the best hand, but no initiative, so, Oh, this is bad news for Mr. Gamble. Very,
Yep.
very bad.
Yep, this is indeed very bad. Unless we turn a queen. If you say that it is very bad, then I'm already getting my hopes up for a queen. Fires 25% into the middle. Malagna will probably just make a call here, right? Or do you think?
I'm not sure. I mean, I don't know his style too well. He did strike me as a guy who might raise that flop, but standard is to just call because they have even stacks. I think another bet and a call is coming in on the turn. I don't really see why Anderson would be afraid. His kicker is also quite good.
What are we betting? 1.1, 1.2? Wow, 2 million. My goodness.
Seems fine. You want to charge. There's a lot of hands that will continue. Ace X, Ace 4, 4, 5. Like these hands, you don't give them a good price, and I think that will save them. And Malagno's gonna have 18 million in chips.
Unless he checks and Mr. Gamble goes all in.
Yeah, Mr. Campbell just goes for it, runs into the nuts, the straight. Like that'd be a suicide.
Goes check, and a 7 million chip pot goes Malagno's way. So he is once again our chip leader. What is it with guys that enter these final tables as chip leaders and just run well? You know what I mean? After 1 hour of poker, we are down to 7. As you guys know, the breaks are a little bit shorter. So Nano, he's already off. I will take a quick break as well. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the show. This is the 27th edition of the High Rollers Super Millions. We provide coverage each and every single week on this beautiful YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't done it yet, and we'll see you in 4 minutes. Alrighty, guys, I'm back. Nano will be back soon. And then we will continue our coverage of this High Roller Super Millions final table, the 27th edition already. And it's a big one. It's the Winter Series Circuit final. Normally it's a 1.5 million guaranteed. This time it was a 5 million guaranteed. So the prices up top are massive. It's been a pretty fun first hour. Definitely got a little grindy indeed towards the end. But I'm loving it. I still feel this is anybody's tournament. Sure, our two chip leaders, the guys who came in with the biggest stacks, are looking mighty fine up to this point. But no, I feel like we're in for a crazy hour. I think this is going to be a bit of a roller coaster. And I have the feeling that Koltolnikov is finally going to get that double up that he's been waiting for. And this could
It's
very
funny
well
you
be
say
it.
that. This
Yeah.
could be it. I think Malog is going to fold. Well, Anderson might open though. So
No, he's not opening Queen 5.
okay,
mate.
it's
Come on, Nano Noko. How long have you been playing poker? Jeez Louise. There you go. I said it. I called it. Now we just need to hold. Can Koltolnikov hold? The pocket nines. So far, so good.
easy peasy.
It's never easy, Nano. But it is good enough in the end. Wow, man, did I call that or what? I swear, even before I saw the nines, I had that feeling that we were going to start off or soon with a double up for the Russian. And he gets queens the next hand. And it could fold all the way to Malogno again, who could be a bit tilted. He's going to open up King 10. My goodness, what is happening?
Some players actually jam the King 10. And Malagno doesn't strike me that way. He's actually going to limp. But other players might just lose 20 big blinds here. You know, they might just open jam to King 10, run into two queens, and all of a sudden Koltonikov's got all of the chips.
He's the chip leader in two hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been something.
We've seen it happen. We've seen it happen before. But here, Malagno, King 10 offsuit, not a great spot.
He's probably a little upset, but you gotta let this one go, Malogno.
I feel like he really should, because it sucks, but there's just no way Koltonikov's is bluffing.
Man, imagine you're on a break. You're like, all right, let's just stay calm. Let's just be patient. Things are going somewhat according to plan. And two hands in, and you've got 8 million chips. Let's go, Koltolnikov. He's just jamming Queen 8. He's gonna pick this one up as well. Nothing that Veka can really do with his Queen 4.
See, it's funny because Koltonikovs was thinking, okay, let's get a couple more ladders, and now he's actually in third place. Clearly, he's in good position. And he's got position on the guys opening the pot, so he doesn't have to get punished. Like, this is really a dream scenario for him.
If MK Ultra, could you ever see him shove here? I mean, it's pretty loose, but
it'd be loose. But he's gonna make it happen, and he's gonna win these chips. There's no way Europeans calling off ace-6 offsuit. It's not happening. It's not happening. I know you think it might, but it's not happening. There's no way.
I have a feeling it might happen. It's a tough call for the European. You don't love it. Nah, I think you're right. It's too difficult.
He could easily be behind and out of the tournament. Like, Ultra's jamming better aces here. Pocket pairs. Even against King 7, you're not that far ahead.
Well, you're right.
And he's very ICM aware. Come on, this guy's there's just no chance. I would bet
he was thinking about it. Come on, he was thinking about it.
Yeah, he thought about it, and he did the same decision. Anyways, Malagno's got King 10. He's actually kind of had a roller coaster session, in my opinion.
What do you think of the Jack 10 here?
He's not playing Jack 10. Come on. He hasn't played any hand. What makes you think he's going to play Jack 10 all of a sudden? Forced an all-in. There's no way.
4 big blinds. I would get it in with Jack 10. Probably be behind me. Flop greats.
You know what's funny is that his VPIP went from 4% to 2% after that fold just now.
Poor Vika. But hey, he got 2 pay jumps, so who gives a damn? This man entered the final table with $9,000 in career earnings over at GGPoker. Tonight, he's won $205,000. No matter what happens, mate, 0% VPIP. He's still having the time of his life.
Oh, no,
the European.
He's dead. There's no way. How can Queen 10 beat 2 queens? It's almost impossible. No,
Oh,
I.
oh, oh.
It's yeah. Just you need Anderson's internet to break for like 15 minutes for him to stay in this tournament.
Well, here we go. The European Tournament Live is on the line, and he needs all sorts of help. Well, he's pretty much dead.
Okay,
But
that's what he needed.
chop it up. 7 reduced to chop it up for the European. Ooh,
Oh, so close.
That got close, but it's not going to do it. GG. And there are 214 nerds on the interwebs right now that are very sad, as the European is out. The most amount of money went in on him, but he finishes in 7th place. That has to be a little disappointing.
Oh, it's very disappointing because he's been to our final tables multiple times. He keeps getting his 6th, 5th, 7th. He's like not top 3 spots. And Vika got a pay jump.
Yeah, Vika just made $48,000 extra. He's like, man, can I get another one? He's like, this is going great.
Well, why not fold? If people are just gonna bust out before you, when you got 4 big blinds, you might as well just keep folding. This is a dream scenario for him. I did not expect Vika to outlast the European. I'll tell you that. But yeah, that's quite disappointing for the European. I think he really didn't get to do anything. He skipped some spots. Look, the truth is he had opportunities to maybe put himself in position to be a top stack, but he didn't. He opted to kind of play his more ICM style, and he missed them because the big one was actually the one against Yorma. Yorma shoved 2 5s and European folded 2 8s, if you remember, on the button, and that was probably the big defining hand. And
that was for 80% of his stack, though, to be fair. And yeah, Malagnos is getting super out of line here with 9 high.
I told you it's going to be people are slowly going to bust out, and these two are just playing the early heads up match because it's just set up for these two. These two guys are relentless. While Ace Deuce makes the correct call, and Malagno, he can't fire, unfortunately. When someone bet calls you on King 3 Deuce and the 4 rolls off, you can't expect him to usually have a hand that can fold to the turn bet, right?
Well, Malagno works in mysterious ways. So I will just be patient. He fires 3 million. My goodness, this man is nuts.
Oh my God. This is just stone cold bluff. And those 3 million chips are so important too. And he's risked them. And
wow, this is where
the Uruguayans are fun, huh? They're pretty fun to watch.
No, he's very fun, but he's also crazy. He's giving me a panic attack over here. But I'm feeling good about Kotelnikov. He's just kind of chilling there in his corner. He's been patient. He's getting his double ups, and it's all good.
Yeah, he's your best chance on making some money. You do have money on Nikov and Ultra, right?
Yep. Yeah, and a tiny bit on Tasmania and Vika, but that's basically a loss. So, you know, when it comes to Roddy's final table betting, Kotelnikov would be a good win. The European was the best, but he's actually my...
Oh, look at this. Look at this. Wow. He's 3-betting Malagno. Kotelnikov's a new player. This is nice.
Yeah, but also very dangerous. I don't know if I like it.
It's gotta work, right? Malagno's got A7 and too many chips to risk. Well done.
That is insane. That is one hell of a move. I did not expect that one, which is why I took a look at my bet. That's insane. Yeah. We'll get a solid $540 return on a Kotelnikov victory. So we'll take
very possible. He's got the experience too, right? It's not like one of those satellite winners that's at the bottom of chip counts and you're like, they just try to grind their way to the top. No, he actually has the skill set, and ever since he got that double up, like he could use those chips, and you saw him just use those chips.
That's a big move. Chips up to 9.4 million. He is clearly in 3rd place at this point. Malagno still sitting pretty at 17.8 million. It's definitely been a bit of a roller coaster for him, but hey, it's working out. Fake out.
That 9-7 hand was insane. I'm just still thinking 7 deuce suited for Malagno. This is fun. This is getting, like you said, this hour is going to be a good one.
Fake folds. He folded the 6. Oh no, poor guy. He's like, come on, bust. He's like, eights against fours, please, one time.
Malagno's got the 7 deuce. He's got a fire here. It should work. I can't imagine king queen continuing. Yeah, he's got backdoor diamond draw, but
Yeah.
it's tough. Maybe he does call. I don't know, but he does make the call.
Wow, and he spikes the
king.
king. In sync. Look at us now. Now we're becoming a casting Archon over here. That's
This
how
is
we
the
call it.
perfect card too against
Yeah.
Malagno because Koltonikov not expected to have the king, and it's a good card to actually multi-barrel here, especially when you got 7 deuce.
Are you familiar with the term casting Archon?
I'm not.
Okay. In StarCraft 2, there are 2 units that can morph together and they become an Archon. So when
Oh yeah, I know
say,
which one you're talking about. The glowing one, the glowing
yes.
unit, right?
Oh, look at you. Wow, look at this, by the way. 2.2 million. King Queen makes the call. And Malagno is at 7 high. Yeah. I think, man, there's 8.4 million in the middle. That's insane.
Oh, he's tempted to shove. I can feel it. Like sometimes you just got you play the 7 deuce. You're like, I just gotta go for it? Question mark.
Oh my God. Kotelnikov, what are we doing? I mixed the call. Wow, what a hand. Oh my
Beautiful.
God. We've got a new chip leader in town. What an hour. Well, what an hour. What an 11 minutes this has been for Kotelnikov. I forgot what he had in the break, but was it 3.5 million? Something along those lines?
3 million or so. Wow, that was he knows his opponent so well. Like he just knows this guy's just gonna dust off.
Wow.
Sure, Vika's got 2 big blinds, but I don't care. Koltonikov can thank Malagno for all the chips if he ships his tournament. Regardless, like he's in prime position. Sometimes these heroic plays, you just got to give up sometimes.
That is insane. Mr. Anderson does not give up here with Queen 9. Koltonikov does pick up a flush draw on the turn. Fire in the hole, I would say at this point. There you go, 1.8 million. Mr. Anderson lays it down. Wow, our first player to break the 20 million chip mark. Koltonikov, he came in as second shortest stack. He came in with 10 big blinds. The payout for him was 17-1. And Veka's all in, by the way, with 1.5 bigs, king 7 8s. He's getting it in good, Nano.
He is getting in good. Wow. You gotta remember, he sold 75% to Koltonikov, right?
Yeah.
50% to Ami Bear, 25% to some other guy.
Ami Bear, what a legend. He just keeps on stacking these guys and chip the tournament. I would say Corey, but that's a different Anderson. Mr. Gamble makes the call with the Queen 5. Jack 8 tags along as well. Veka makes top pair. Man, this is fun. What a great final table we've got so far.
Oh, there is a chance now. But Veka's still in a good spot here.
We need to avoid a queen or a 7 on the river. I mean, technically, there's a queen out, there's a 7 out, right? So it's only 6 outs.
Yeah.
9
clean
is safe.
double up, triple up.
Triple up even. 1.9 million. Solid, almost 6 big blinds, 5 point something. There you go. Veka is channeling his never say die spirit. Mr. Gamble gives him the nice hand. Hey, Veka?
So, it must be nice, huh? He's got from 1.5 big blinds to potentially a bunch now. 2 10s. There's no way he's going to fold this hand.
No, you can't fold this. Gets it all in. Malagno is going to let the Queen Jack go, but I think Koltonikov is forced to call, right? 1.2 million to win 4.6. You have to call. 4-1. Well, let's see if Veka can avoid the kings this time. So far, he can. Ace is safe. As long as the river is no paint, we're fine. And it's a 6. Let's go, Veka. 4.
It's the unlikely people, right? Like, we gotta remember, we didn't expect Veka to do well or Koltonikov. And actually, it's those guys, the short stacks, ever since the European bailed out. Like, these guys are just shining.
Yeah. Once again, Faker had 9,000 in career earnings on GGPoker before he entered his final table. He's now guaranteed $248,000, and he's got way more chips than MK Ultra. MK Ultra is sitting there, he's like, come on, man, just bust already. Like, what's taking you so long? I want to get it in. And now all of a sudden, he's the one. Okay, well, there you go. Who's forced to get it all in, but he picks up ace king in the big blind. Mr. Anderson. Mr. Gamble could be in a bit of trouble here. Ace 9 offsuit will probably open. The rest is going to let it go.
This sucks. It's not a big shove.
2 million. I mean, that is 20, like, that's a solid 20% of his stack. He makes the call, though. Uh-oh. Mr. Gamble in a bit of trouble. Unless he finds an ace, nine, or excuse me, a 9 or a deuce. We need a 9, deuce, or a 10 to chop it up or win it. Or we get a double up. Uh-oh, that's a 9 or a 10. That's a 9 or a 10.
That's a 10.
Oh, it is a 10. So we're going to chop it up. That's a little unfortunate for MK Ultra.
Nice hit. Wow. I was going to say, like, those 3 guys on the right, like, just all doubled up. But fortunately, MK Ultra, he's got to feel like the unluckiest person right now.
Yeah. And that was a big hand. Imagine if MK Ultra wins that. He's got pretty much the same amount of chips as Mr. Gamble. I still can't believe Kotelnikov's run. That was insane. And also, I love how he just called on the river. Like, yeah, you're supposed to.
Super
but...
fast.
Yeah, but it's...
Yeah. The flop too, right? He just called just king, queen high on an 8-6-4. He just knows his opponent is just up to no good.
Mm-hmm. I'm surprised you know what an Archon is, by the way, Nano. I love it.
I played that game so long. Was that StarCraft 1 or StarCraft 1?
It's in both. Yeah, they are.
Oh, I didn't know it was in the second one. I only played the Brood War.
That's cool. Well, MK Ultra may get it all in here, as he is down to 10 big blinds, ace deuce offsuit. You don't love it. He's not down to 10. He's down to, what is that? 8 big blinds? Yeah, exactly.
He's going to get 10 real soon.
Finally, a little bit of momentum for MK Ultra. He may look at this and he's like, well, Faker folds anyway. Mr. Gamble has been bleeding out a lot of chips. Tasmania has been pretty tight. He may just feel a little adventurous with the 8-7.
Yeah, it's very, very tempting. He has... Sometimes, though, I feel like when you take too much time, you're just like, I got to fold now because
yeah. I know that so well. You're like, damn it, I should have gotten it all in already. I look weak at this point. But he does still go for it. Here you go. And the read was excellent. Tasmania has been, like, in the beginning, we thought he's been quiet, but he's making correct plays. I mean, he's a bit card dead, but he definitely has been very quiet, though, right?
Yeah, it's... Those guys have been quiet, but he's got 2 10s, but not going to get much action.
Well, let's say fold. He limps. Malogno is steaming. He raises it up. 10s jam it.
I don't know if he's going to limp the 2 10s. The reason I say that is he limped the ace king, got no actions. Sometimes when you do that before, you kind of want to do the reverse and maybe start raising it. But never mind. Anderson's just going to go dust off 2 big blinds here.
Yeah. Tasmania, probably just rejam, right? Make it easy on yourself. Yeah. I like it. It's a big one, but I think it's just the correct way to play the 10s. 10s are hard to play, I feel, because it's so likely there's an overcard and it gets a bit scary. And then Mr. Gamble is a maniac too. It's better to just get it in good pre-flop and hope that you're fine.
Malogno's got 2 jacks. Get some chips from someone. I guess the question is who. Most likely Anderson.
Yeah, I think that it's Mr. Gamble, mate.
But just a little bit of chips, because yeah. Well, but MK Ultra, okay, he's like, he wants to get feisty. Nah.
We have seen some of these pros. They do love. Wow, the trees just go into the muck.
Insta, very fast. Okay.
And Kotelnikov's got an overcard now, and he's been running pretty damn good.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna see a flop here. I can't imagine a queen 6 folding.
Not a whole lot there for Kotelnikov.
You're feeling so this is the big sweat because the Kotelnikov, you got a good money on him, and he's actually a clear chip leader. It's not like, oh, he's in third or fourth like the last time. I forget, who did you bet on last week? Was it that was getting a decent
Was that
run?
Lena or was that the first
It
week?
was. Oh well, Lena against what's his name?
Yeah.
Corey Aldemir, right?
Corey.
That was the
Yeah,
close
Corey.
one.
Mate, that was so brutal. Like Lena had it won like 3 times. Or was that the first week? I think that was.
That was the first week. That was the first week. Did you bet on someone's second week?
Yeah, I definitely bet, but nobody really had an epic run. Everybody just kind of busted early.
But this one's a proper sweat, and like odds are in your favor now, like clearly, because he's got a big chip lead. Actually, if you think about it.
Well, he's about to lose some chips, mate. Thank you, Nanonoko. Mate, you are the sickest jinx. Ace Queen all in versus Jack 9, and that's a very clean flop. For MK Ultra, who's going to get the double up, and he now has more chips. Wow, he's got more chips than Mr. Gamble and Malogno. Can you believe that?
He's in second place somehow. That means the stacks, the blinds are very big. That means the other guys have like 20, all have 22, 23 big blinds.
So this is far from over. I mean, I don't hate what Kotelnikov did there. 9 out of 10 times you're fine. You just get a fold. This time you just ran into ace queen suited. And even then you still had a decent chance, just not on that flop. Wow, he's not slowing down though. He just jammed 7-6. That's a crazy jam.
It's a big jam. That's why I was saying earlier, Malogno, when he had the king 10, like some guys would just jam that spot and just lose all the chips to the 2 queens.
Yeah. Wow. Even after he just doubled up MK Ultra, that is a man. Whoa, Russian is steaming. Now he's jamming A7 offsuit. And MK Ultra.
Well, I mean, this is the ICM pressure you can do as chip leader. See, Ultra's might have reshoved the queen jack suited, but he can't obviously call off 20 big blinds. That's one of the pros of just open jamming these hands.
Well, not quite the 21 million chips that Kotelnikov had before. This one, you can't do that again. Queen 9, he's just going to open. I think Veka might jam. King Jack.
No, I feel like he might, but like, given the way he's been playing, I just didn't really see it happening. I'd be surprised. I don't know what he does with King Queen.
I think, yeah, King Queen, he probably goes for it. Could be a big one then. MK Ultra with Jacks and Tasmania with Ace Jack suited. And even Veka maybe with King 10. No.
I think the Ace Jack suit is going to rejam. It's too good of a hand not to, I think. Yeah, it's suited too. Like when it's suited, you're like, just put it in, and oh my god, Ultra is going to be chip leader now.
And Veka is going to either make another pay jump or just get a very big lead. Just the Jacks need to hold. So far, the Jacks are good. Can we get an ace on the river for Tasmania? Or this is it? That's not an ace.
Done.
That's it, Nanonoko. We are down 2-5. Tasmania with a relatively quiet exit in the end. Walks away with $248,000. This is Ace Jack cannot get there. My goodness. And look, Veka is just, he is loving life over here.
He emojis after everyone busts too, because he's getting like an extra 40, 50K every single time. Yeah. Man, Veka's, this is how you ladder up, okay? You literally just fold everything and let all these pros just donk it off away. Well, and I can't believe MK Ultra is almost chip leader. Wasn't he? Both those guys, Kotelnikov and MK Ultra, had no chips and are the clear stacks. And look at our two guys. We picked her in the middle, and now they're just trying to hang in there.
MK Ultra made us feel that Veka folds everything anyway. But I also understand that he now thinks he's like, maybe now Veka calls off a bit looser, because there is no obvious spade jump anymore. He falls. Veka gets a walk. Veka's like, my goodness, it's Christmas and Easter on the same day.
Yeah, it's pretty insane that he got a walk given how tight he's been playing. you do make a good point. Maybe he calls off more because he's got enough pay jumps. And to be fair, the guy in second last has a decent amount of chips. But I don't know if Vika's thinking. Vika's just folding.
Yeah,
Folding
yeah.
everything. I would have jammed the 10 deuce offsuit personally,
Okay.
given what I know about my opponent.
Well, Malogno finally wins a hand again as Ace Jack gets it done. My alarm goes off, and that means that you guys should hop on the client one more time. There is one more free roll where you guys can win a couple of tournament tickets. Password for this one is millions. One word with an S at the end. Millions.
Ooh.
As Vega gets it all in and maybe Mr. Gamble. It's a tough one for Mr. Gamble, though.
I tell you, man, I think I fold because of how tight Vika's been playing. Normally, I think it's a reasonable spot to just go for it, but I can't believe Vika's just got away with that one. Oh my God, this guy's he's one of the. There's a lot of highlights, but it's like very different reasons.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he could still win it. Imagine if he wins the double up now. He's at 10 million chips. Why the hell couldn't he win it?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it's crazy. It's funny because also in our pre-show, Vika showed a hand history multi-barreled with like just mid-pair and stuff like that. But at this final table, he's the biggest nit ever, but he's getting the biggest pay jumps. And look at all those other guys that busted before him. Remember, he was in last place.
This could be bad news. If Malogno folds or Kotelnikov could be in some trouble, he just makes the call actually with the king 3 suited.
I wouldn't worry too much because they're playing 40 big blinds deep. But if Ultra had 20 big blinds, buy 20 big blinds, I'll tell you that. But I think the king 3 suited limp call is standard here. Still strong enough to call. And
oh my God.
Just got a gift.
Well, I mean, there's obviously 2 more cards to come, but he flops top and bottom pair as MK Ultra flops top. That's 2 big blinds. The free roll can wait.
Ooh,
10 of spades doesn't change the thing.
Good thing he didn't check. If he check raised, MK Ultra would have lost a lot of chips. But I think with the spade coming, there's going to be some tightness somewhere, I'm thinking. Because they're both the big stacks.
Yeah. But MK Ultra still bets this though, right?
He probably bets, and I think Kotelnikov will call, and obviously funny cards can come on a river that just changes everything. 10
or an 8 or an ace is what MK Ultra is really looking for. A spade would really slow down the action, of course. MK Ultra wondering what he should do. Yeah, I think he should bet because he's up against a lot of hands that have outs, like 8-9 with a spade or stuff like this. I think king 3 also just going to call because Kotelnikov can't just jam here and just run into a flush and be out of the tournament. That'd be ridiculous, right? That's a bad 4 card. Of diamonds is a very safe one for Kotelnikov for this 10 million chip pot, and this should go check on the river. If I'm Ultra, I let this one. I just hope that I'm good. It's too much in the middle. Yeah, it's tough. It feels nitty, but it might be right because I think you want to ask, will my opponent call with worse? And if they can't really think, if you don't think your opponent's going to call with worse too often, then you should be checking. Like, what could he call with? King, queen with the queen of spades? King, jack with the jack of spades? That's it. That's really much it. And the thing is, when he is going to go for a little bit of value, and he got a little greedy. He's back to 8 million chips. Yep. Kotelnikov receives the great news. Once upon a time, he was at 21 million. Now he's above 24. Indeed, 24.1. One more time, guys. A free roll starting. Last free roll of the night. Password is millions. Just head over to the free roll section at the GG client, and you guys should find it there. Good luck if you're playing. Run like Kotelnikov did. Yeah, well, I mean, just looking real good, Roddy. I mean, maybe you say you like bragging rights more, but I think right now you should be liking the money more. It's almost a lock at this point. You're like 80 or 90% favorite to win it with these chips. Oh, wow, how can you say that after the craziness we saw with Lena 900, who had it almost won 3 times? I'm not celebrating anything. Hey, you know what we haven't done yet? Guess the winning hand Twitter contest. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. Someone did hit it last week. Yep. With the pocket queens. Timothy Adams won, I believe. Yep.
So I don't know. What did you enter today or no?
I did not enter. I was like, we'll let it go. I was salty about like the fact that I picked queens a couple weeks ago. I don't know what would be the winning hand. I'll go with the Jack 10 of hearts again.
Oh,
Wow, that's a
Vika
sad
just
turn.
yeah, Vika just called. Ace on a turn. Vika's like, I'm forced to see a flop because Malagna limped, and now he lost some extra chips because these chips normally would make him last a little bit longer.
Hmm. If anybody could fold this, it's definitely Vika, though.
I think he's gonna fold.
Yeah?
I don't fault him for folding too. Like deuce kicker, pay jumps. Like every time you post up is in your game right now. I don't know. We'll see. His opponent is crazy and showed down the 7 deuce bluff though, right? Like how do you fold to that guy?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the 7 deuce suited. Oh, it's a hand for the history books. Veka does make the correct laydown. King Jack for Malagna, Queen Jack for Kotelnikov. Maybe Malagna can win some chippies back?
I'm not sure. Well, Queen Jack, you probably don't want it in a flat, I don't think. Yeah, I was thinking 3-bet or fold. Malagno, I think he's gonna call though.
Yeah.
He doesn't really strike me as a guy to just fold with this hand. He knows his opponent will put pressure.
Mm-hmm.
It's not fun though to call a 3-bet out of position with these stack sizes. This is a very good price, and as long as your opponent is doing this with trash, which I think he knows.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Wow.
this is more fun. This is cool. What is this? Have you ever seen a click back of 20 big blinds? Click back 4-bet. This is hilarious. This is great poker right now. This is a great tournament.
Yeah, no, it really has been a very fun final table. I'm telling you, man, I saw the graphics when I went for the final table betting. Saw how beautiful this final table looked. I look at the lineup. I'm like, all right, we're in for a treat tonight. It's going to be fun. Fake, I should get this one all in, though. Ace 5 on the button. He is currently sitting on less than 10 bigs. 9 big lines it is. Takes it down. His theme song truly is staying alive tonight. He's sitting there behind his computer. Uh, uh, staying alive. He's loving it.
Yep, that's right. That's a turkey flag, is that right?
That is correct.
Yep. Oh, he's getting it done. He's just getting those pay jumps so easy. How much is the next pay jump out of curiosity, do you know?
I think we go. I can look it up. I think we go from 299 to probably 360-ish, but I have it here.
Wait, they're guaranteed 299,000 right now?
Yep.
Oh my
Yeah, the
god.
next one is
big.
big. It's 361 or 381. I'll confirm it with you real soon. But yeah, it's guaranteed 300K at this point.
Jeez, that's a dream. That's like Vika winning the Super Millions, one of the smaller editions, right? Like,
Yeah.
this is amazing for him.
One more pay jump and it truly is a victory. There we go. I can't really see it. I mean, people at home are going to think we're stupid, but our feed is a bit different.
360, I think.
Yeah,
right?
361 makes sense, I'd say. Because after that, we'll go to 430. So yeah, I think 361 is correct.
All right, well, it's a limp pot. I feel like Malagno he always gets these funny situations. He doesn't get like clean wins unless it's pre-flop. He's got the Jack 10 high. Is he gonna PO the Jack 10 high here? He's got a little straight draw. He's gonna fold.
Let's it go. MK Ultra picks up a few more chips. It's back to 8 million. Mr. Gamble almost forgot that he exists. The Ace 8 offsuit under the gun with 14 bigs.
I open it up. You know what? Vika folds his big blind. Someone's got to open. I don't think anyone should really give Vika a walk right now. You can see Kotelnikov gonna do the damage.
Nothing related MK Ultra can do about it. And we know nothing that Vika wants to do about it. So, Vika. All right, on to the next one. Oh, Mr. Gamble could be in a little bit of... Whoa, no. Kotelnikov with the 6-5. But it's a hard one for MK Ultra, right? But you got, I think you got a call. I think you got a call.
Yeah, I feel like you do because you know how wide he's jamming here. A7 offsuits have been jamming 20 bigs. Ace Jack is crushing. Plus, Koltenikov's gonna not jam Ace King, Queens and Kings this way. Oh wow, he folds. Goes for the pay jumps. Anderson, will he call? Ace 9. This is tough, but
I mean, Vega is so short, right? And he's so tight.
But the thing is, he's so short and tight. But the thing is, he will wait it out, so you might not get a better opportunity. Wow,
my God. The 6-5 suited gets Ace Jack and Ace 9 to fold. Unbelievable.
If you can get Ace Jack to fold and jamming 6-5 suited, it's printing money. Oh my gosh, like that could have been a big flip flop in chips.
Yeah.
But the pay jumps are huge right now, and it's coming into play.
If MK Ultra made that call, he'd be the chip leader. Well, he's gonna shove this Ace Jack. You know, Koltenikovs has no idea about the bullets he just dodged. He's gonna watch this back in 30 minutes, and he's gonna be like, "Lol." We're at level 41 already. You guys can see in the top left, in I believe 8 hands, the blinds will go up again. It's been a very fun edition of the High Roller Super Millions. We are here every Tuesday evening, 6 p.m. Central European time. Obviously, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you haven't done that yet, you guys can also catch all the action of Danny Onegranu and Doc Pork over on this channel. Jeff Plott has been doing a great job covering most of the action over the last few weeks. Even saw Karlenko make a little appearance, and I saw James make an appearance. It's been a lot of fun. I gotta say that I'm really sad that they're not playing over at GG. And I know that like seems like I'm chilling over here, but I just really prefer the tables and the cards of GG over the WSOP client. I'm not a very big fan of that one.
The WSOP client's a piece of shit, no offense.
Okay. I'm glad you say it. You know, I tried to be a little more PC, but I'm glad that you got that out there. Yeah, it really brings me back to online poker in like 2006 or something. You know, it's just like, the way that the cards move. I don't know. Like maybe I shouldn't be that bothered by it, but I really am.
Yeah, and if you play on it, it's not very fun. I haven't played on it in a while, but yeah, it's not the nicest client out there.
MK Ultra just getting it in with the Queen 6, knowing that Vega will call with very, very few hands. See what Malogno decides to do here with the Ace 3. I mean, in 5 hands, the blinds will go up again. These guys are going to be forced to make a few moves. Not Vega. Vega will be forced all in before he makes a move. But who gives
Hey, man, if someone called off against Koltenikov, he could have got another pay jump. That would have been huge. I'm rooting for a Vika top 2. That's my personal root.
Okay. If he makes top 2, I feel everybody that bet on Vega should get paid out. You know, with the final table betting, even if he didn't win it. If he makes top 2, just pay those guys out. It's only 400 of them anyway. Who gives it?
You know the thing is,
this might be it though.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say if they knew how Vika was playing, the odds should be even bigger for him.
Yeah.
But here we go.
200-1. In the tournament live is on the line for Vega. Can we find a lucky 8? Yes, we can. It is unbelievable. Okay,
oh no!
Can we find another 8? No, we cannot. That is going to do it. Vega is out in 5th place. He gives us the Aoki goodbye. Goodbye, mate. It was a lot of fun following your journey. Congrats on that massive score. 9,000 career earnings just became 308,000 career earnings at GG. It's pretty good, Nano. It's a beautiful day at the office for him.
I mean, like, you come in 9th place, you get all those pay jumps. It's beautiful. Well, did I miss something crazy? What happened?
No, you didn't. I misread it. I just thought that A7 folded from the button. I'm like, what? But MK Ultra opened pocket 5s under the gun. Ace-10 all in though. And MK Ultras, we are down to 4. He's probably looking over at Mr. Gamble, and he's like, he's pretty short, but Ace-9 suited should be good here.
I
think he makes a call.
I think he should call. I know, like,
what a fold.
Yeah, he's playing very ICM heavy. The pay jumps are big. I don't know if you can get that much of a better opportunity than that
No.
because
If you want
Anderson
to win
is
the
not.
tournament, you call there.
The thing is, Anderson, while he's a short stack, he's still got 12 big blinds.
Yeah.
He's not getting in soon. I think
Mm.
if Anderson had like 7, 8 big blinds, then I'd probably be folding ace nine suited because I know he's getting in real soon.
Mm-hmm.
You might have, it might be a missed opportunity, but MK Ultra is playing the ICM style, is playing the pay jumps, and they are big. So I don't fault him. Sometimes you got to close your eyes, especially when you see how Koltnikov, how wide he's shoving lately.
Yeah, no. I think that would have been a snap call for the majority of the players out there, even ICM implications and all of that. I think you got to call it. And he would have been wrong, so he made a great fold, but that's being result oriented. You never know what the flop would have brought anyway. I think that's a call for me.
Well, he is going to play this one and win a little pot, and I think Koltnikov should just open wide. I don't think he's opening any two. The reason I say that is Malagno still defends a lot, so he can't really open the cutoff really wide.
I think that Kotelnikov is playing as long as Malagno is not in the big blind.
Uh
I feel like
Malagno, let's go, Malagno. This is an easy jamming call, right? Like there's no way.
Yep. Mr. Gambo gets it all in from the small blind with the king 6 offsuit. And I am with you. I think this is a call, and it is a call. King Queen gets it in. Great. Mr. Gambo's tournament lives on the line. That flop doesn't help him. A 4 would help him. 4, 7, or a 6 is what Mr. Gamble needs, or we are down to 3. And that is Spain, so that's not good. GG. The man who came in second, Mr. Gamble. He's won it before. He's been the runner-up before. Today, he goes out in 4th place, walks away with $361,000. And we are down to 3 Nanonoko. And the guy who came in as chip leader, all of a sudden is looking pretty good again.
Yeah, we got a proper match coming up, I can tell you that. But Mr. Gamble, I know he got 4th place. He played good today. I thought he played really good. But the blinds just got too high. And sometimes when that happens, like the short stacks are just going to get hands and 15. Like people are just forced to get it in. He played good. He still got a good score though, right? Like it's almost like winning one of these Super Millions again. Fantastic result. I know he wanted more, but he did put himself in position to get up there. Thought he played good.
A fun little 3-way pot here, but MK Ultra gets it in, or at least puts in the 3-bet with the King Jack or a raise. Well done. Takes it down. Gets the ace from Kotelnikov to fold pre-flop. This could be a bit of trouble for Malagno.
Yeah. So you have money on both guys, or just Kotelnikov?
But MK Ultra is very small. Kotelnikov is a bigger one, so like MK Ultra is more just like, so at least have some of my betting money back, you know. But yeah, man, this is like a great or a doom scenario because Malagno winning doesn't only mean that I get nothing. It also means that you picked another winner. So Malagno, I'm sure you're a great dude, mate, but I want none of this.
Well, it is Koltnikov here. But I think we still have Koltnikov and Malagno, which is real nice because they've been obviously that 7 deuce hand was the epic hand, and they both got a lot of chips. I think we got a lot of poker coming up here, and Malagno is value betting his 10, but he's actually behind against Koltnikov.
Actually, I don't think I have MK Ultra. I guess I thought I had MK Ultra, but I got Vika instead of MK Ultra, so so it's Kotelnikov or Busto.
Well, it's a good sweat right now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, I always have fun, but this definitely makes it a bit of extra fun. King 8 is going to get in the race. I absolutely expect Kotelnikov to defend, and he flops top pair, but MK Ultra flops the flush draw and has a couple of backdoors as well when it comes to the straights.
I expect MK Ultra to fire in 2 barrels at least. This type of hand is just too strong. Put a lot of pressure on your opponent. Really no reason to check.
Do you think that Kotelnikov would ever check raise here?
Not with Jack 10. It's too good of a hand, but also too weak of a hand to get all the chips in for the stack size.
Well, MK Ultra makes the pair of kings on the turn, so he is looking mighty fine. Not only does he have the better hand at this point, he also still has the flush draw.
Who checks?
That's actually
bad.
Yeah,
Real
that's
bad.
bad for Kotelnikov. He's got to feel that his pair of tens is good here. We know it's not. Fias 2.2 million.
I think MK Ultra would just call here. His opponent can have a better king. King Jack, King Queen. Like, there's actually a lot of better hands in King 8. Don't think raising really, like, especially the way he's been playing, I don't think people are going to think he's making some crazy bluff all of a sudden in this spot. But he is going to go for he was greedy with the ace king before, so maybe that he's getting a little greedy here with the king. But it is correct, he is the best hand. Maybe his opponent looks him up, but I just don't see how I ever pay him off. I don't know.
I think I may. It's like 2 point. Imagine if he just had the flush draw. He doesn't have the king. What if he had Queen 8 of hearts, Jack 8 of hearts?
Yeah, but I mean, I expect those hands to bet the turn. So, like, I just really don't think he's bluffing here. But Kotelnikov's thinking about it. It's weird. That's why he's thinking about it, right? Like, the line doesn't make sense. And that's what gets you paid off sometimes, when your line doesn't make sense.
I mean, I actually think I'd call, but I'm a fish, obviously. But I think I believe that my 10 is good here. I'd be maybe worried about a 10 with a better kicker, or
I don't think a 10 with a better kicker would ever raise in this spot. So it is the kind of
people are crazy. No. We've seen crazy plays. Did you ever think that 7 deuce was gonna play a 21 million chip pot? No, you didn't.
True. Yeah, Kotelnikov's like really confused.
Wow.
Makes the correct laydown.
I'm impressed by that fold. I really don't think that's an easy fold.
Definitely not. He took a lot of time there.
Oh, limps with the ace. No need to get crazy, MK Ultra.
He's thought about it. These guys are...
He's like, well, I could definitely have the deuce. But if you had a deuce, why were you taking so long pre-flop, eh? 5 on the turn. It's going to make Kotelnikov feel pretty good about his hand. Bets 1 big blind. Okay, Ultra should probably just let this one go. There's really no need to get in any trouble. He's got one of the absolute worst hands possible, so let's just let it go.
I feel like these guys, they're wasting a little bit of time bank, the MK Ultra and the Malogno. It's going to come into play because they got a lot of stack to play with. You don't want to go to heads up with no time bank, I'll tell you that.
Fun fact is that obviously Malogno came in as the chip leader. Kotelnikov came in 8th place. MK Ultra came in as 7th place. Only Vika had less chips than them. They've got the chip leader duking it out with 2 of the absolute shortest stacks entering this final table. And those 2 short stacks will have more chips than the original chip leader by the time that this hand is done. I don't even know. Are you happy to see that 9 if you're MK Ultra? I feel like that's almost an annoying card.
It's not a good card, but there's a lot of bad cards that could have came off. But he will not fold to 1 bet, I imagine. He should check call because his opponent will often just kind of take 1 stab here, just try to move his opponent off with some kind of random hand, as you can see here. But I don't think the 9-8 should be folding.
No.
Also, when you check call here, you look like you have a straight, like you could have a straight, and it's really hard for your opponent to throw in another bet. They often can throw 1 out, but not really 2 as a bluff.
The ace shouldn't change that much. We'll see. Probably Ultra will just check. Let's see if Malogno gets out of line one more time. Nope, he's going to give this one up. It's like, I'm playing the board. Okay, Ultra says the board is no good. 2 pair. Uh-oh, yeah. Malogno could be in a little trouble over here. Wow, it's actually MK Ultra opening it up. He became a different man too as soon as we went down to 3 players, Nanonaka.
Yeah, we got like, what, 100K pay jumps now. Queen 7, it's a little bit loose. Kotelnikov, she ripped it in, just snap ripped it in. It's a lot of big blinds too.
Yeah. Kotelnikov just knows what he wants. That's why I like the Russians. King Deuce offsuit against Ace 3. King Deuce with the race. MK Ultra has shown us that he's not afraid so far. Ever since we went down to 3. He may just... Like, I think bare minimum is call, but I feel like he could do crazier things than just calling, right?
3-betting is a good hand to 3-bet bluff with if you're going to. The ace rags, they don't play well post flop. You got the ace blocker. So if he was to 3-bet bluff, ace 3 offsuit is definitely reasonable to do it with. And he's going to do it. Yeah, nice hand.
Kotelnikov might still think like, yeah, I've got King Deuce.
Yeah, let's play it.
Let's get it in. Still down to 3. We're, of course, getting close to our second break of the evening. This has been a very cool edition. Kotelnikov is looking good, but this is truly still anybody's tournament at this point. As Malogno, the original chip leader, takes one down with Queen Jack. I feel like now we're just waiting for some 6 setups.
Yeah, I mean, it will happen though. Order blinds will come up. Something will happen. But you know, we know Malogno likes to get involved, so we should be seeing some flops, some bets, and so they might try to hero call him down, but maybe he'll pick up a hand at the right time, and then you know all of a sudden he's got a lot of chips, or he has no chips. Who knows?
I'm getting nervous over this final table betting thing, man. Like I can be on the record not picking a winner 3 weeks in a row. I'm betting on like half the field over here.
Right, it's different if you're betting on just one guy, you know, but
Yeah,
you've actually
yeah.
put in multiple guys.
Yeah, but to be fair, some of them were very small. They were just like playing the odds, you know. I technically had 3 serious bets, and the first one was Jorma. Well, that didn't go very well. Then obviously the European was my biggest one, and then Kotelnikov was the second biggest one. So I gotta win eventually, right now. No.
When you look back the way maybe Yorma played, did you like that you put some money on him, or is it like maybe you put a little bit too
Wouldn't probably
much?
do that one again. No, I don't think I'll do that one. And to be honest, like I wanted to bet the European just because I felt everybody was going to bet the European, and if everybody was happy, I wanted to join the happiness. But I actually didn't like the European as picking the winner. I did have the feeling he was going to do well because I definitely love the way he plays tournament poker. As we have Malogno just betting king
Yeah,
five
yeah.
here.
And as we're chatting, right, and we're
Yeah,
looking at
yeah.
him, he's got a spade, right? No, he's got, and this is the
No,
most
no,
contested board too.
he's got squadus. Okay, Ultra makes the correct call with a pair of 8s.
It's not an easy call. It's like a weak straight draw, weak pair, very dangerous rivers. Malogno, like the Uruguay people, they got an imagination that no one can. GTO does not understand him. So he might bet again. And it may or may not work. I can't really answer that question for you because they think he's a maniac.
He need to bet big though, I think.
Yeah,
I
it's a
think he's
nice
gonna
size
get
bet.
called.
But it's a good size bet. His opponent does have a lot of hands that can fold. There is a lot of single spade, no pair. Even some of these pair hands like 8s, it's tough.
Wow, he gets it done.
Well done. This is some nice poker today.
Yeah. This is actually very well done. I think after seeing the hands that he got involved with before, I think I would have called. Obviously, you don't love it, but I think I'd just be like, well, just show me the goods, you know, one of those crying calls. And it's like, oh, I'm good, actually. But yeah, to go back to the European, like I was like, I'm going to ask Nano this question because actually, like the European is a great bet, but then I also think he's not a great bet because he's so ICM aware. As Malogno flops a set of 3s, Kotelnikov has a gut shot that is no longer good, man. If there's a 4 on the river, there will be blood, Nanonoko.
If there's a 4, this tournament is over for a Kotelnikov, I'll tell you that, or lose most of his chips. Here's a small bet. It's going to get looked up. The deuce is not a good card because I think it might give Kotelnikov a bit of false hope, thinking his hand is good.
Oh,
wow,
he checks. Check. Malogno. I mean, I don't think he would have been paid up by a lot, but probably could have bet 1-2, 1-4, right?
Yeah. I don't really like the check because his opponent often has too much showdown value. Unless he thought his opponent had a 5, He was just trying to get super max value. But the thing is, 5 would raise the turn. I don't really like it. But Malagno, he's a mad genius. You don't know what he's thinking. He thinks about hands differently. The thing is, he thinks about hands differently, but the other opponents, they don't know what he's thinking. So he's thinking of these great ideas, but the opponents are not thinking these things at all because they're like, I don't know how this guy plays. I'm just trying to catch him at the right time.
Noko, the original chip leader, is once again the chip leader. Not by a whole lot, but well done, Malogna. One hell of a comeback. As I saw that sentence, I was gonna say I feel like he's gonna lose some chips, but Kotel Nico folds the A7 in the small blind. Bit surprised about that. I mean, A7 sucks, but
you don't want to play the small blind too wide, actually. The reason is if you start calling a lot from the small blind, the big blind can just come out with raises like this and you just burning chips. You're kind of capped if you don't 3-bet. They know you don't have those premiums, so that's why you don't defend the small blind too much.
No, but I think 3-bet or fold. That's what I thought, the A7. I think we 3-bet or fold, but I kind of expected Kotelnikov to just throw in the 3-bet one more time. Anyway, guys, we have entered our second break of the evening. We are down to 3. I predicted a fun hour of poker, and I think it really was an incredibly fun and entertaining hour of poker. As you guys can see, this is really anybody's tournament. MK Ultra came in as 7th to this final table, but he still had 30 big blinds. Kotelnikov came in as 8th, but he's got 41 big blinds. And then we still have the original chip leader, Malogno. The previous 2 weeks, the player that entered the final table as chip leader ended up winning the entire tournament. Can we get a hat trick of chip leaders winning the final table? Or will it be one of the underdogs with the big payouts? Stay tuned. We'll be right back. In 4 minutes, we will continue the coverage and probably wrap up the 27th edition of the High Roller Super Millions. In 1 minute, we'll continue our coverage. I'm just going to use this minute to make all of you guys aware that Saturday is the real community day over at GGPoker. You guys will see all the squad members of GG stream. Not only will they play the Beat the Pros, the bounty event, but they will also do some fun streams. If you haven't checked any of them out, I definitely recommend you guys to do so. Of course, guys like Kevin Martin, Egyptian, E27, they really have super fun streams. Jay Nendes often is involved. The actual PLO god that is Jay Nendes. It's a lot of fun. They often bring in a little guest as well. Every single week they have a different guest. I joined them 1 week. It was a lot of fun. Even though they played Among Us. I don't know if you are into those kinds of games, Randy, but Among Us is not for me. I don't know if you ever tried it.
I haven't tried it, but I know it's really, really popular. I like those type of games, but I've never tried it personally. But who cares about this? Look at this. Look at these chip stacks. Is this gonna be fireworks? Who's out? Who's gonna be out first? I don't know.
I don't know either, and I'm just afraid, man. I was like, I can't deal with you picking another winner. I can't deal with the chip leader winning this tournament 3 weeks in a row. MK Ultra or Kotelnikov, just take it down. Preferably Kotelnikov. You know, I love the Russians, and it would feel like I picked a winner, even though I didn't, but it would feel like I picked a winner.
I feel like MK Ultra is really solid, and he has really good timing on his 3-bet bluffs. He's picked some garbage hands, but it's worked every single time he's 3-bet, like the ace-3 offsuit to king fours or whatever.
I think he's played very well, to be honest. He had a lot of, obviously in the beginning of the tournament, he was short stacked for a long time. And at one point he was basically destined to go out. That is a very unfortunate turn for MK Ultra, who flopped top pair. But the turn is a disaster for him.
Yeah, but I guess they would have sold his turn card no matter what, given the hands. All right, so it's another bet from MK Ultra. That's interesting. Let's see, Malagno. Gonna probably call here with the ace-8.
Malagno's still good. MK Ultra should not lose any more chippies here. He is going to check. Malagno probably quite eager. No, he's just going to check it back. He's happy with a pair of aces. And he will take down a 5 million chip pot. Just when we were praising MK Ultra, there's a serious caster curse going on over here. Now we've got ace-8 versus ace-9.
I don't know if Malagno's going to fold ace-9. He strikes me as the guy that wants to play at his hand. 3-bet, call. I just don't think folding is one of the choices for him. We'll see, though. It is going to be a 3-bet. I like it. Don't think ace-8 can play back too much unless he's going to 4-bet. You don't really want to call 3-bets of ace-8 offsuit. It's just kind of dominated too often. Like, say you flop an ace, you don't know where you're at post-flop if they put in a bunch of chips. But we'll see. There's the chip leader.
Takes another one down. Jack-9, Queen-5, 6 deuce. This is often the kinds of hands you see in these scenarios. Jack-9 will just limp for now. Kotelnikov tags along with his suited queen. Nobody really flops anything.
But Malagno's got a good piece. I actually think Kotelnikov's got a reasonable piece where he might call in a bet too. Yeah, but it's a bunch of marginal stuff here. But it's actually ultra betting out here with the inside straight draw. But I don't think Malagno's going to fold with a nutted straight draw like this.
Kotelnikov is like, well, I've got a gut shot, got a backdoor flush draw. It's like, but do I really want to go for it?
I don't know. Think about raising too, maybe. I don't know. It's just funny. Maybe just get out of the way and just fold too. I think all options are reasonable.
Check, raise, or fold.
Makes
the call.
Nuts. Nut straight for Malagno. Chip leading.
It's going to be hard to get a whole lot out of it at this point, but we never know what the river shows. But that is a sweet Sweet turn card for the man who came in as chip leader to this 27th edition, the High Roller Super Millions final table. Doesn't get much better than that. Can bet real small, right? Let's try to get some extra chippies in the middle.
Yeah, that's a good bet sizing actually. But unfortunately, his opponents have absolutely nothing. Like it's kind of hard to imagine that there's bets and calls everywhere on the flop, and no one can continue on this card on the turn.
He will take it down. He's actually becoming a pretty dominant chip leader at this point. Things are looking more and more dire for MK Ultra.
Still got a lot of chips to play for.
Yeah, he's got 22 bigs. It's not too bad. But when there's this much in the middle every round, you know you're gonna get some shoves. It's gonna be easier and easier for Malogna to call it off. He's been having one hell of a roller coaster, man. At one point, Malogna was down to like 7 million. Really didn't have that much. The other two guys on the right had way more than him.
But you got to remember too, he got down to 7 million, not from coolers. It's from him bluffing off, like literally to Koltonikov.
But I feel like all I mean, let's not forget our champ last week who had the ace queen against ace king disaster. And that could have been it pretty much. But then we spiked the queen. And even the week before that.
Timothy Adams, right? Like he was cruising. He lost so many chips. And then after that, he got lucky, bailed out in that one hand and just kept on crushing. Here's a hand where these three hands are very playable. I think we'll see a three-way flop coming maybe, unless the queen 10 suited wants to three bet. But I think queen 10 suited might just call.
Well, an all hard flop. Here we go. Ooh.
Oh my God! Wow,
that is actually one hell of a flop.
Colton, if a heart comes off, Koltonikov practically ships the tournament.
Yes, but I don't believe I am that fortunate in life, Nananoka. The three of spades, not the turn card that Koltonikov was looking for. Also not exactly the card that MK Ultra is looking for. Probably felt all right about his pair of tens and would have definitely tagged along. But he also knows that it's a bit unlikely he's got the best hand at this point. It's possible.
King, yeah. Now Ultra will be out of here, I imagine. Like bet and call in 2 spots.
Yeah.
He just needs to dodge that heart real bad, Koltonikov. Like really bad. I'm not hit that heart. What king is good though?
That is more than good even.
Yeah.
Koltonikov in prime position now to win a 5 million chip pot. I mean, okay. Do we just check this back? Yeah.
Yep.
King. Solid.
Now your bet's looking pretty good, right? Now you got about even in chips of the chip leader.
I don't know, the amount of times you've told me that in the previous weeks, and I never found a winner. Let's not get there.
Eventually it will work. Eventually.
Yeah. I have the feeling I gotta wait until Elke makes a final table, man. Like I know that Elke won't let me down. He never did, but Elke or an Isaac Haxton, Limitless. Like I feel like any of those three will get it done for me, but Koltonikov opening it up here with Jack 7 suited. Takes another one down. He's chipping away at that lead of Malogna. This one is also looking good for the Russian. MK Ultra folded a king. Wow, okay. Apparently that doesn't matter. Wait,
I'm surprised the ace 10 didn't pop it up, right? Don't you think the ace 10 should have?
Yeah, no, I'm actually very surprised about that. How many kings are there in this deck, Nananoka? And don't tell me 4, okay? I could swear I've seen 6 by now. Like, what is happening? What did MK Ultra fold? I have the feeling he folded king 5, but I could be hallucinating.
Well, Koltonikov does call the ace 10, and he might pay off another bet. There's a lot of missed draws, every straight draw, every flush draw. And it's Malogna, but he does correctly lay it down.
Good fold by our Russian. I have a feeling that MK Ultra will be steaming that regardless, whether or not he had king 5. He'll be like, damn it, trip kings. That's mine, but I have the feeling he folded a full house. Could have been king 3 or something like that, though. 9-7 is going to raise it up from the button. I mean, this is kind of what I meant before. Like MK Ultra, it looked all right with 20 bigs, but it goes so quick. You call once or twice, you see 1 or 2 flops, and now all of a sudden you're like, ugh, we're becoming proper short stack. I won't be upset if he ships this, the king 8.
It's a lot of big blinds, but the blinds are going up in 2 hands.
Yep.
So he's going to get cut down real quick again.
I like it. It's just this, you know, it's still a bit like he still has some fold equity, right? Nobody wants to call off 7
for
million
sure.
chips. So I like the ship there. It's hard to call off that many big blinds unless you're really sitting on a monster. Jack 9 against 8-6. Both players flop a gut shot.
I'd like to see Ultra throw out a little bet here.
He's
You
almost
just
out of
got
time,
a
by the
high.
way.
Yeah, no, I was saying that earlier, wasn't I? Like the time banks of those two guys they play really slow because they probably never made a final table on GGPoker before. I think one more bet from Ultra would be nice. He limps the button. He could have an ace X still. Its opponent often has straight draws or like 7x or 10x, and it's another bet. That's really well done.
Some very much needed chips heading his way.
Oh,
This could be fireworks.
well, I
Ace
think
3.
Ultra should win this one, right? Like he should
Yeah.
just reship it and just take down these chips. So good spot.
It's a decent pot then. Picks up 1.3 million extra. 1.4 even. Gets it all in with the king queen, and I think this is a bit too much for ace 3 to call off. Malakna will lay it down. And we are still 3-handed. Next play will walk away with 436,000 chips. Or excuse me, dollars, not chips. no chips anymore. You do not get chips in your GGPoker account, guys, I promise. Oh. Tens are still good, but Malakno flops a pair and a gut shot.
See, you like how they always try to trap Malakno though? Like, they always limp these tens and ace king, and like they just know he's up to no good. But he checks, he sees a lot of flops too, so you know it doesn't work as well against him. But 2 tens here, I think I'm check raising and trying to get this one in. It's too vulnerable of a flop.
Yeah.
You know, like you don't want a lot of cards to roll off on the turn. But he just calls. I'm in love with that play. I feel like you give your opponent too much equity, and you're only playing 20 big blind stacks.
Yeah, and I also agree that there's so many bad cards, right? Like obviously a 7 is bad. If the board pairs, that could be bad news. Another club is bad. Ace, king, queen, jack. You don't like to see. What do you like to see? A 10?
Well,
like, yeah.
He is going to win this pot, I imagine, because Malakno did bet the turn. It should go check. I think the 8 can't really get more value. I think thought he was valuing against a 7-6s type hand. So hey, still got a good amount of chips.
Brings the field a little closer together as well, so that's nice.
It's actually a really close match between these 3 guys.
I still feel like it's coming though. The storm is brewing at this point.
We're gonna find out soon, right? Like someone's just gonna lose a lot of chips. We just don't know which guy it is.
Kotelnikov definitely been slowing down a bit. I feel like Kotelnikov had this 10-15 minute period where he wasn't just on fire on the table, but he's just playing pretty wild. And after dusting off a couple chips here and there,
yeah. I think like as a chip leader, he's got like the most confidence, plays like his super A game. Now he's like more like, I gotta still be icing aware a little bit now that we're closer. You know, chips, that's what they can do. And look, see, Ultra is now like in the betting mode, right? Like, cause he was kind of calming down, but now he's stealing all these pots of garbage.
Which means we're getting closer and closer together. I'm still indeed surprised about that hand where Kotelnikov just checked ace-10 offsuit in the big blind. That's just kind of crazy. I think when you know that they're playing relatively weak hands, feels like ace-10.
Too strong for sure. I agree with you. But he does have ace-10 here, and Ultra's got the flush draw. I would like to see him put a bet out there. I don't think $1 million's going to work, but you know, there's always one more potentially coming.
7 of spades does not improve MK Ultra's hand. You may just feel like, well, this betting thing has gone pretty well so far. He's got 6 seconds left before his shot clock turns red. And it means at this point, he fires 1.9 million. What a bet.
Beautiful bet. This is a tough call to make for ace-10. He has a 10 of diamonds, which is bad because he blocks the flush draws he's trying to pick off. Jeez. That's what happens when you don't see bet flops. You let your opponents take them away from you when you try to show down those ace highs like that.
Kotelnikov is now the short stack. We saw him check ace 10. I cannot imagine him checking ace king. Okay.
Yeah. All right. You know what Kotelnikov's got on his opponents though? He's got time bank. That means the other two use a lot of time, and they're creative players. It's quite bad for them actually, especially Malogno, because he might make some decisions he didn't want to make. And, he's spending more time here.
Yeah, we've seen him make some crazy moves, but apparently not this time. Maybe we're a little too deep, even though he's played some wild hands. That 7 deuce. Oh my! There you go, Nanonoko. Is this the hand we have been waiting for? Ace Jack is going to raise from the button. MK Ultra will absolutely 3-bet this. What are we making?
And
3.6, 3.2?
Well, this is greedy. It looks like 3 million, but Malogno, a lot of guys here, I tell you, they would just 4-bet jam the ace jack. It just happens so often. Malogno does like to see flops, so he might just call too. He's got no time bank, which might make him make the wrong decision and just ship it in. Like, oh, whatever, just ship it. He does. Oh,
there we go. Ace Jack versus Kings. This is a big one. The winner of this hand is in prime position. There you go. There's the ace. There's the jack. We need a king, or MK Ultra is bamboozled. What a brutal beat. That's not a king. That is going to do it. The man who came in as chip leader is now the dominant chip leader in a heads-up battle. MK Ultra played some fantastic poker tonight, but he will be eliminated in 3rd place. Walks away with $436,000, and we are heads up.
That's a 100K flip, man. That's brutal as hell. Oh my god. Chip leader Malogno is got good GG, good luck. Yeah, you don't need to say good luck to the guy anymore. Wow, that is sick. I'm speechless.
He's got him out chipped 2.5 to 1 as well. Kotelnikov does make a pair of deuces here on the turn. So he can start chipping away at that lead that Malogno has. I can't believe it, Nanonoko. We had 23 editions of the High Roller Super Millions where the chip leader did not win the actual final table. And we introduced final table betting, and they're just winning it back to back to back. Like, come on, what is happening?
I mean, it's not over yet. Like, technically, it's only a 2-1 chip lead. The only thing you have going against you, though, is that I picked Malogno to win. And I do pick a lot of winners, so. But you do have one thing in your favor right now is you did put money on Kotelnikov, and you get what, $500 to $600? You said?
Yeah, $550.
It's a big one. So we still got a nice sweat here, and this is fun to watch. These are the two guys though. They play some nice hands against each other.
Yeah, Kotelnikov has really had an amazing run. Let's not forget that he came in as 8th in this final table. This is, I mean, we've seen crazy things in these heads-up matches. Lena was so close to winning it 3 times. In the end, couldn't take it down. I've got a pretty bad feeling about it, though, Nanonoko. I've got a bad feeling. I've got a great feeling for everybody who plays some bets on Malogno, because he is in pole position to win this tournament.
666. That's the bet. I mean, Malogno's been aggressive, relentless. He's had the biggest roller coaster of the day. That ace jack was a reward for some reason, which is gifted. The other guy's still on tilt, I think. MK Ultra kept playing, he's punching screens.
That is what a monster pot that would have been. I mean, he would have been basically Malogno would have been out. MK Ultra would have been in a position to win this tournament. You say it's a 100K flip, but you can arguably say it's a 300K flip, right? King 9 is good here, though, for Kotelnikov. So he can pick up a couple chips.
I think he can value bet here. It looks hard, but I don't expect Malogno to check a straight that often or flush. I don't know. Maybe he can check. It's tricky.
We are into the next hand already. A7 against 9-6. 2.2 in the middle. The rich get richer in scenarios like this. They just fire away. They bet. This is where Kotelnikov is praying for
Oh,
him.
you're
Well, this
He's
could be
back.
it.
He's back. Okay, well, I mean, this is the chance to get double up. I mean,
Yeah. No, Cole. I'm going to stop you for week 27. The best hand pre-flop does not always win.
I mean, if he gets this double up and holds here, like, this is a good chance.
Yeah, that's sick. If he
That's
gets it.
call. Okay, well, he's not going to lose all his chips now that the ace rolls off. He might even win this. He might even win this one. Who knows? It's hard to say, but Malagno is going to check. Let's see. I think the 2 jacks. Okay, well, he's safe. Look, you feeling good? You're feeling good now, Roddy? Look at this.
Yeah, but I mean, it's 5.8 million in the middle, Naranoko. You know, nobody really gets any richer from that. Malagno does check, and I assume that Kotelnikov is going to check. No, he's not going to check it back. Goes
It's a pretty
for a little
thin
bet.
Yeah. It's very thin. King Jack.
Second, nothing.
Oh my God!
Oh, what a move!
This is why you don't bet with 2 jacks, because now you put in this spot. Oh my God! I don't know if he can. Can he make the call of 2 jacks? Because if he calls this one, he is in prime position to ship this turn.
Oh, he makes the call. He makes the call. What an insane call by Kotelnikov. Wow. He doubles up to 29 million. That is insane.
Okay, you're feeling good now? You're feeling good now? Wow.
A little better. Wow, that is an insane call. Nanonoko, talk to me. How sick is that call?
That's a sick man. This guy just knows how to bluff catch against Malagno all day, and he's getting it done every single time. And now he's the chip leader. They're playing for a lot of money in this heads-up match. And wow, he had a lot of time bank to use, and he didn't use very much to make that call.
Apparently, Malagno did win this one, as we had a minor issue with the stream, so the stacks get closer to each other again. 526,000 for the runner-up of the World Series of Poker Circuit event with our beautiful winter-themed final table. Over 600K on top for the winner. Yeah, insane call. Man. Kotelnikov has made a couple of plays where we're like, maybe X, Y, or Z, but in those big spots earlier in the tournament as well with the king, queen, just snapped it off. Now this one again. This one's a bit unfortunate. As Malagno does make 2 pair. A 10 on the river or a 6 would be disastrous. Let's see if we can avoid that.
Oh, yeah, he just folds. I think it's fine. But yeah, no, Kotelnikov's played those 2 pots so far were huge pots and they're key pots, and he played them as best as he really could possibly. Like, wow, he got maximum chips in that hand too. I can't believe it, because I didn't expect him to get paid off by worse, but he did. He knew. Just one extra thing we got to remember: the bluff raise all in, right? And we know Malagno is capable of those kind of moves. That's just so sick.
Queen 5 against Jack 10 here. Jack 10 of clubs, a beautiful hand. Doesn't flop a whole lot, but we'll still take it down. Oh, Malagno is evening this up very quickly. That was a couple million lead for Kotelnikov, but it's gone.
Yeah, I was like, wasn't Kotelnikov? But I don't know. Malagno does win a lot of the small pots a little bit more often. But as long as he blows up one more time, Kotelnikov could just rip and win this tournament. Let's see. There's a bet. I don't think 5-4 is good enough. You want a diamond to maybe peel.
No, I can understand that fold. It makes sense. There's so many bad cards as well on the river. Ace queen for Malagno against the 9-7 suited. Both players make a pair. Obviously, the ace queen's still good. Kotelnikov not going anywhere here.
Yeah, he might pay off. He probably should pay off another bet. Just too many draws out there, flush draws, straight draws, and his Malagno factor. So I don't fault him for making the flop and turn call, but the river would be Malagno obviously going to go for some big value. I feel like he knows he's got some dumb image. It's an all-in play.
Power poker. Power poker coming out of Malagno. This time, obviously, he did have the goods, and he is back in the lead to 31 million. Kotelnikov sitting here at 18. Man, Malakna turned that around real quick, Nanonoko.
Yeah, real fast. He's got the nuts straight, and he checked. He keeps checking to Kotonikov. He's trying to. That's the thing. When Malagno is checking these strong hands too, his King Jack play actually makes a lot of sense to have a 7. So it's not easy playing against this guy.
Definitely ain't easy. He's gonna take another one down here with ace-4, and we are almost back to where we were before that hand happened. This is now 32 million against 17. Koltonikov makes the call here, or yeah, with queen 6. Queen 6 still good, but probably don't feel very good about it. He's like, maybe I should bet to win hands. It's like, yes, that helps. Takes one down.
Yeah, Malagno is winning way more pots right now. I feel like all that hard work Koltonikov did is just gone in that one hand. 8 dudes just punishing here. Nice. Good read because Malagno has been raising like a lot on the button so far. Blinds up.
Pocket 5's going to go for the raise. Suited 10-3. Makes the call. Oh. Koltonikov flops the set. Malagno does flop bottom pair and a backdoor flush draw. Could be a monster pot, Nano.
Oh, your guy is going to get a full double up, but because he's going to blast off. Look at Malagno just check raising. Yeah, there's a third card. Wow, I mean, how much is Malagno going to lose? We saw him bet with just 9-7 high before, and I was look at this. Just what is he doing?
There's no way for Koltonikov to lose his hand, right?
No. Well, I mean, I might have just called again with the 2-5 just because of how crazy my opponent is. What? Okay, never mind. Raising is perfect because he still got paid. The thing is, Malagno's time bank is killing him right now because he's making some irrational decisions a little bit. Was he just going to open jam and just lose? I was going to say, like, what's... I don't know.
Does make the check. Koltonikov goes for the all-in. Very quick. Pocket 5s. Has a set. Malagno can't call here. This is no way.
Oh, he called.
What?
Wow.
Nanonoko, what just happened?
The time bank is killing Malagno and Koltonikov. Your bet is in great shape right now. Look at this 37 to 13 million.
It is in great shape, but we never celebrate. I cannot believe that hand. What just happened over there?
It's the time bank. The time bank is killing him real bad. He's playing real fast, and he needs his time to make his decisions.
Wow, Koltonikov, with more chips than he's ever had before, is now in prime position to win this tournament. Takes another one down, pre-flop. This one he didn't even have to do anything for. 39 million against 12 million. 7-5 against pocket 6s. Oh, well, there you go. That's a comeback. Unless there's a 4.
This double gut. This could be it if it hits a straight. There's definitely all the chips would go in. If he just needs to bink an 8 or a 4.
Malagno is the kind of guy to raise here, though. Yep.
Well, I mean, with these odds, you do make the call. Looks like I don't think Malagno's going to check now, though.
Nothing that Koltonikov can do here. Obviously, Malagno can never fold, so just gotta let it go.
Still got a big chip lead, though.
What?
Oh my God! He just shifted it.
That doesn't make any sense, Nanonoko. That doesn't make any sense. He's got 2 million behind.
These two guys are punting hard. Oh my God! Queens against 9s.
Well, here we go. 9s are gonna go for the 3-bet. Queens are gonna get it all in. 9s are gonna make the call. Queens hold, and then Nanonoko strikes again. We're not all in yet, but Koltonikov is in all sorts of trouble. Gets it all in. Queens make the... I cannot believe what we just saw in that. Well, the last 5 hands. Well, the 9s are in trouble. We need a 9. Or it is pretty much all over. Koltonikov... Oh, no. A 6 of hearts doesn't change it.
What? Roddy's in shock. Roddy, I just saw your $500 go into your account and they just took it away literally with like they didn't let go of the money and you didn't grab it in time. Can this be it? Can Koltonikov come back with 10-3 suited?
Well, Queen Deuce. Nobody predicted Queen Deuce to win tonight. Oh, there's the king. It is pretty much all over unless we have a queen on the river. Is that paint? It is not paint, and that means that Koltonikov will finish as the runner-up and Malogno somehow, some way, finds a way to win the 27th edition of the High Roller Super Millions, wins almost $640,000. Nano, I don't know if I'm allowed to curse on this channel, but I'm going to do it. What the fuck did I just see in the last 5 hands? Come on.
What's worse is that you had $500 like literally in your hands, taken away. Wait, this is the first time, and it's such a loss for words. This was so crazy, Roddy. Like, what? Why don't you go first? Do you have anything to say?
Well, no. I don't know if you know Jose Mourinho, but I have nothing to say. That's what I feel right now. Normally we go over a couple of hands, and okay, we gotta be somewhat serious. This was a really fun final table where we saw a lot of sick bluffs, we saw a lot of cool runouts, we saw just a lot of amazing plays. We saw some of the favorites going down early on. But why did we race with the 7-5? The guy had 2 million behind. He's betting 4 of his 6 million on the river. Like, even with 9 high, he's probably calling it off, and he's like, I just hope I'm good over here. Like,
okay, he's not calling off 9 high. Before we get into this hand, let's talk about the one that happened right before it. Malogno with the 10-3 suited, right? Didn't he check raise like a bottom pair, and then there's obviously like
a fives, right? A set of fives.
Yeah, and then he bet the turn, called a raise, and then Kotelnikov shoves the river. He calls with bottom pair, obviously loses, and then Kotelnikov's like, I want to play crazy too, so I'm going to call your check raise min when you look like you got a set, and then I'm gonna bluff raise you for your last 2 million. Not even a min raise; it was like a 50% raise, putting you on a draw. But what draw would check raise min the turn to bet not all in to fold to the river bet? You know, like I don't know. Here's the thing: Kotelnikov had 5 minutes of time bank. He wasn't the guy with 5 seconds. Just because your opponent has 5 seconds of time bank doesn't mean you need to play like you have 5 seconds of time bank too. If he thought about that more, he would have realized that sure, his opponent probably has some draws that can't call a shove too often, but he won't be check raise minning the turn out of position. That's just not a play. It's not a thing. Even Malogno's book, I think. What the? And then all of a sudden, as that craziness happens with 2 queens and 2 nines happens. Well, like,
yeah, I mean that's the setup that we quite often see, obviously, in these big heads-up matches. I've got a very logical explanation for everything we've just seen. Like, Kotelnikov is like, well, the difference between first and second is like roughly 100K. He's like, but damn it, I bet $40,000 on Malogno winning this, you know. So he's like, I'm getting 3.5 to 1 over my poker shares. And Malogno is like, damn it, I threw in like a cheeky $1,000 bet on the 27 to 1 or whatever it was for Kotelnikov. So he's like, it's better for me to finish second. Neither guy wanted to win. No. That's what I think happened here. Oh, I don't know. Obviously, that's not the case, guys, but insane.
It was so fun. Obviously, the 7 deuce play was crazy too. Do you remember that one? Like when it was against Kotelnikov too. Called the king queen. This was for a lot of chips when that Vika was so short too. He only had 2 big blinds. An amazing call. This was an amazing final table between these 2 guys. These guys just battled it out. It was Mr. Gamble at first, but after Mr. Gamble dusted off, it was Kotelnikov, and it was amazing. I do need to remind you though, who did I pick to win this tournament, Roddy?
Well, not just you, no. Not just you. In total, there were 133 bettors out there that predicted Malogno to win this final table, and they have been paid out $65,000 in total. So even though Roddy is in pain, congratulations to all of you guys who did bet on the chip leader to win the final table for the 3rd week in a row. I said last week, I was like, this final table betting thing is really simple. All you got to do is just bet on the chip leader and he wins it. And I didn't do it this week. I was like, I don't know. You've got the European, you have a couple of great underdogs, another Finnish player, a Russian player. I always believe that these Russians can be solid at the final table. I know it's based upon nothing, obviously, but I had a good feeling about it. And he got so close. Kotelnikov got so, Nano, you make fun of me, but imagine all those other Kotelnikov bettors out there. Some people had much bigger payouts than 500, okay? The odds were insane. It was like 27-1 for the Russian to win it. And he was two hands away. He was 2 hands away from winning this tournament.
That reminded me of something. Someone else lost a lot of money in that heads-up match. You know who it was? Ami Bear. He had 50% of the action of Koto Nikov and just saw us. So it was like, I'm going to win this. How can I lose this? Why are you punting off of 7-5 offsuit in the most hilarious way possible? Hey, regardless, I know you're steaming a little bit, but this was fun. You got to admit, this was the craziest 5 minutes you've ever seen in Super Millions history.
I was stunned. I was baffled, but I promise you, I'm not steaming because it really was an amazing final table, a very memorable one for us. And let's not forget about Veka, man. This guy had the time of his life tonight. Veka came in as the shortest stack. He had $9,000 of career earnings up to this final table on GGPoker. Tonight, he walked away with $299,000. So that's a beautiful poker story. Tonight was pretty epic, Nano. I still can't believe what I just saw. I'm pretty sure I'll go over it a few more times tonight, later on, whatever. But it was a good time.
I think this final table delivered, and not only was it a special one, WSOPC edition. Lots of money up top. It was a special one. This one is one of those final tables way up in the very top, most fun to watch. Yeah. I loved it, and you guys, you got to tune in next week because you cannot miss these types of final tables, especially with final table betting. Roddy will eventually pick someone and win some monies.
Mate.
Maybe bet on everyone next time.
Yeah. Even just $1, you know. So at least I can say I can finally tell you guys how the payout process works, even though I'm pretty sure it's very straightforward. It just shows up in your account. I truly cannot believe that I did not manage to win this one. It was like 38 million against 6, and then 3 hands later I picked the runner-up again for like the 27th week in a row. It's unbelievable. Oh well, Nano, I'm happy to see you are this wide awake, and I think still very early hour for you over there in Australia. I think that's going to do it for us. Do you have any final words before I send the viewers home?
Go Malagno, but nah, I love it. I hope he just keeps rejoining these Super Moons. I know he only played like 3. He's a great character. I think he deserves to be on every final table.
And he satellited his way in, right? $250 mega set.
Correct, $250, and he's got 600 something K, yeah?
Yeah, 640, well, 639. It's not a bad day, not a bad investment to play that little qualifier. All right, guys, that is going to do it for us here, well, from our home studios. This was the 27th edition of the High Roller Super Millions. We'll be back same time, same place next week. Have a beautiful morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you may be. And good luck at the tables. Bye.